COVID's messed up a lot of things, and we haven't even seen the majority of it.
I think a lot of people use this as an excuse, though. People who are still on unemployment when they could be working, and they're just living off that shit because they can. And so for those people, I think it just brought out their true nature. And the people who want to succeed did. Honestly, I haven't slept in 2 days.
Yeah? How are we feeling?
The past 2 days, I've been, I had to drive back and, well, I don't know, I mean, how, like, up to date are you on, like, my shit? Because
really, I mean, I asked, and then you said we'll go over it, and when we do this, so
yeah, we did
I absolutely have no idea what's going on.
All right, so I'm going to give you the lowdown. What do you know about what's happening?
I know your car's fucking up, for sure.
But, like, what do you know as far as, like, what my life is right now? Like, do you know that I'm just, like, traveling?
Yeah.
And I quit my job, and I don't know what I'm doing? Like,
for
that
sure.
So you know that part? All right, so that's where I'm at.
I gathered
and
that.
I have to drive home. So my sister's graduation is in 2 hours, or 2 days, or 1 day. And so I had to come back anyway on Friday. And my car the other day, just all the emergency lights just popped on at the same time, like all of them, 100%. Like the master emergency red exclamation mark popped up, the yellow emergency line, VSC, oil change, fucking everything popped up.
It's not
and
good.
I was like sitting there in the heat, and I think that's what it was. My car just can't keep control of its like coolness. And so it's just like, it's fucking up bad. And I can't drive it for more than an hour because every hour the car stops working. In the middle of driving, the accelerator stops. So I have to pull over. So I did that in the middle of rush hour. I had to pull over, let the car sit. I was freaking out.
Where were
you? On the
middle
middle of the highway in fucking Missouri.
Oh,
and so Jesus. I pulled the car over, and I'm sitting there. The car's off. I don't know what to do. I have no service. So I'm sitting there like, oh, fuck, what do I do? So I sat there for like 15 minutes just panicking, and then I turned the car on, and everything was fine. And I was like, okay, great. So I drove another hour, did it again, and I was like, okay, so here's what I'm doing. I'm going to sit here, and I went to sleep on the middle of the highway, on the side of the highway, went to sleep for 2 hours, woke up at sunset, watched the sunset, and then proceeded to just drive for 8 hours straight through the night.
Yeah.
And I did that for the last 2 nights straight.
And you're stopping every hour.
I'm stopping every 45 to an hour for about 20 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm stopping, and I'm basically, well, last night at 2:30 in the morning, I cleaned my entire cooler and did like a deep clean because I just had this like, I don't know what it was, but yeah, I'm going crazy a little bit. Like, not gonna lie, I slept 3 hours in 4 hours total for the past 48 hours. So I drank a Red Bull or like one of those energy drinks, and then this Land Shark, which is actually really good.
Yeah, it's a good drink actually.
But anyways, we'll just go ahead and get this podcast started. I mean, we've fucking been sitting around doing nothing for like 20 minutes basically. Welcome back to Joyage, everybody. This is Cade, your guide. I'll be replacing the voice I join out for now. Giving you a break from the constant internal monologue that is the human mind. I want to say thank you first for viewing, listening, whatever platform you're on. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, drop a like in this video, so that people can find the voyage. Today, I mean, we got the guy. I mean, this is the man. I mean, this is Big D. This is Big D. I mean, he's killing it. He used to be Lil D. I know him back in the day. Lil D.
I was way back when.
I mean, shit.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't
go by that.
We've been friends since 4th grade. I think it is. I was actually thinking about this because I was trying to figure out a way to intro this whole thing. And we literally met in 4th grade because I remember we moved and I was at my friend Gus's house, not Gustavo. And I literally was like, yo, my dad called Gus's mom, was like, yo, we moved to this place in Canterbury Woods. We're going to meet all the Canterbury Wood kids. And just fucking, I don't know. And so I went.
I remember this
Katie
guy,
tackled me,
yeah.
was lying on top of me. That was a moment. my first intimate moment with a girl was with Katie. And now she's, I think she has a baby.
She does.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't really keep up with her, but Cheryl does.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure she's married as well. So, yeah. Good for her.
I don't even know.
Yeah, no, it was, the people that you moved in, we were actually really good friends with them. So it was kind of a bittersweet.
Were you friends with them?
Oh, yeah, big time.
Who were they?
Krista Moreland. Shout out to Krista.
How do I know that name? Wait a minute.
She went to West Ashley. They just moved out of that house. They just moved to like Shadow Monsters.
Wait, hold on. Do you think I know? How old is she?
My brother's age.
Krista Moreland?
Yeah. Yeah, but they moved out of that house, and we were all really good friends. It kind of like, fucked the neighborhood up for a little bit, but...
yeah. How long were they out? I can't find her.
Yeah.
How long were they out? Like, how long did they move out before we moved in?
I honestly,
just
it was,
chilling?
it was really close. No, I mean, I think they moved out on like a Tuesday. You came in on like a Wednesday.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
I mean, it was meant to be. This is a question I had because I don't know how. I only know my perspective of our friendship growing up because we got close really quick through soccer, I think it was, and then we just like we were the only boys like that were our age.
Yeah, it was definitely. I mean, you know, what? Some days we would go to West Ashley Park at like 11, and then we would, you know, we would hit Sonic on the way back at like 5.
Yo, fucking Sonic! Oh my god, that shit was fucking
Sonic,
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sonic was fire.
Great slushies. Great slushies.
Dude, shout out Sonic because I still get their slushies with raspberry slushies with Nerds.
100%.
I've been getting that since the.
I can't do the
dawn of time.
Nerds. I don't like the Nerds.
What the fuck? Well,
Yeah, it's weird in a drink. It doesn't really make a lot of sense
I mean,
to me.
it's just good.
Yeah,
You
I'm
feel
sure
me?
it tastes
I mean,
good, though.
it's fucking phenomenal. I've been getting it forever, and I still get it probably twice a week. Still.
Wow.
Every week.
It's impressive.
Yeah, it's bad.
The fact you're living in a car and you're still getting that, it's good for
I
you.
shouldn't, but it's like $2. So I'm just like, fuck it, you know, like
Why
it's
not?
fine. But
It's $2, huh?
Yeah, basically. But anyway, going back to where we started. So when it was 4th grade, we hung out the one time, and we became friends. But I remember that was when you really were a little D. I mean, you were fucking tiny.
Yeah.
You were a little pipsqueak child.
Yeah, you know,
But like, what were you like before you met me? Like, were you confident? Were you like unsure of yourself? What was that like being?
no,
little
dude,
D?
I feel like I was always pretty confident.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
I don't know. I've always played soccer though, so I feel like I brought my confidence from soccer. But
Damn.
you know, I don't know. It
I mean,
was a long
we
time
didn't really
ago.
hang out
It
with
was,
anyone else.
yeah,
It was just you and me.
It was
pretty
just
much.
yeah,
And we
us in
just
the
kind of fucked
cul-de-sac.
around.
So we were just kind of like, you know, we hung out all the time. You know,
That's all we did. We just played soccer,
Yeah.
did nothing, and
it was a simple life.
it really was. I mean,
Yeah.
we would play soccer for like 7 hours straight, and then play FIFA,
Yeah,
and then that was pretty much it.
that was pretty much our
But-
days, man. That's what it was. We
Dude.
hit that pool too. I miss that pool.
Dude, we fucking did.
Yeah.
And then fast forward a few years, so we hung out like every day for fucking years until we can skip over Ab real quick. We started dating this girl
Yep.
named T.
Yeah.
Her name was T. We'll keep the rest of her name confidential. You started dating T. This is junior year.
Shit. Yeah, it was
Junior
junior year.
And then that's when we stopped being friends. We stopped
Okay.
hanging out entirely.
Listen.
You ditched me for T. Never saw you again. You started
You
hanging out
had a
with Sal.
girlfriend too. What? Yeah, you literally had like you and you know, this other girl. Y'all started dating before me. Actually, it was before me and
That's true.
T. Yeah.
This is
So
true.
I
That
don't
is true.
think I
feel
don't
like
think
we
it was
may have-
completely me. I think it was both.
It was both, but we stopped. We pretty much stopped hanging out. We didn't hang. We didn't hang
Yeah.
out for like months
Oh,
at
yeah,
a time. I remember. I
definitely.
remember we hung out once, and I was like, "Yo, that's the first time I've hung out with you in like a long time."
Yeah.
Because you're with Sal,
Well, you
you're
know.
with Disa,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I guess you know life gets like complicated sometimes. Like
it
that.
do be getting
So,
complicated.
You know, you just I was just level-headed, and I don't know. I was playing a lot of soccer too, and we were playing on different teams. I feel like that was probably
Oh
it.
shit, I forgot Sal was on your
Yeah.
team too.
You
True.
know, we were just always practicing, and then you know, I was hanging out with T as well. So.
What was that like? What was dating T like? If you had to describe it,
Yeah.
just if you had to describe it.
Overall, like she's a really good she's a good person, right? And like she definitely cared about a lot of things, but
Were you one of those?
yeah, no, I was definitely one of them, but it just didn't work out for for whatever reasons. Things happened.
What exactly happened? Did you? I forget if you ended it or not.
So I mean, I did end it. At the time, I was confused. I was also in like I want to be like a professional soccer player and stuff like that.
Is that where you were at?
Yeah, I mean, I was at USC Aiken and
Shit, dude. Fucking
but you know how it is, like when you're in college soccer, like everyone around you is talking about it. You're just so you're in it, and I don't know. I mean, our relationship definitely went sour. Like I'd say like towards the end of it was, but whether that was long distance, some other things, but
Oh, wait, I guess you were long. Well, it was like an hour.
It was an
wasn't
hour,
that
yeah,
bad. I mean,
but-
me and Emery's was like 2 hours, so it wasn't bad either. But
I don't know, but I feel like as long as you're not in that city, it's long distance. Like
True.
if you can't go see someone every day, it's long distance. That's the way I
True.
look at it.
Very true. Very true.
I mean, like college soccer too. Like your schedule's packed. Like you have 6 a.m. workouts, and then
It do be packed.
You got class, and then you have practice from 5 to 8. I mean, that's every day. So it was really hard to keep a relationship during that.
That is true.
You know,
who was lacking? Were you lacking? Were you just like not into it? Or?
No, I wouldn't even say it was. I don't think either one of us were really lacking. I think we both had different interests. I was really interested in soccer, and I was putting all my effort, my time towards it. And, you know, I mean, she had school, and then it was me. So it just...
Nursing.
Yeah, and so that caused tension there because I was always doing something, and, you know, I couldn't always talk and stuff like that.
Did you go out? Did you go out ever? Did she let you? Like,
Yeah.
What was she like?
Yeah, I mean, about going out?
Just in general, like, I don't know who T is. I just know of her and that she hated me in high school, apparently.
Yeah, she wasn't your biggest fan. That's what it... I don't know. She would, you know, she wouldn't stop me from going out, right? But if I am out, I mean, there's just text message after text message.
Oh, my fucking God.
You know, just checking up. And it's because she cared. I know that. People have different ways of, like, showing. And
was it
that
insecurity?
just didn't work. With her? I'm not sure. I don't know. That's for her to decide.
Were you like about her going out? Or were you like,
Yeah, I didn't care.
You didn't care?
No, I'm all about loyalty and stuff like that. I really am. I mean, you know, you could really do whatever you want, and, you know, if I trust you, I trust you. But if I lose trust with someone, I never really have it.
What happened?
They can't have that back.
With
the whole thing.
What happened?
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know if we want to go there, dude.
We don't have to go there. We can go to a much lighter topic, one that's much earlier in our lives, and this was truly one of our first adult decisions. It was a big moment for me as well as for you. It was we dated 2 sisters in high school.
Yeah. Yeah. Right around the same time. This was a great time.
Oh man, this is when we were hanging out even more because we were dating 2 sisters that were best friends.
And whenever I would go over there, you were over there. Like,
it was great.
I think you were actually my ride over there. I think that's what happened. Yeah.
I was, and you walked in on us dry humping multiple times.
That did happen a lot, but great experience the whole time.
It was good. I mean, I just couldn't figure out why it was that you would just. It's like you knew that we were about to start making out.
Yeah.
And then you would just walk in. Like, I don't get it. Like, every time it started, like, you would open the door. I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
You know, I'm pretty good at stuff like that. I feel like I have a good timing to walk in on situations.
Pretty much.
You know, listen, I was a boy, though. I was a boy. I would walk in and be like, oh, I'm not supposed to be here. I'd walk out. I wouldn't say anything.
What year were you? Were you a sophomore?
Yeah, I was a sophomore.
I think I was a sophomore. I must have been a junior.
And you were a junior, yeah.
Yeah. That relationship, that whole train, because you dated Ab for like a while, right?
I don't know. It was like 7 months. So I guess it's kind of a long time.
So you dated her for a while. I only dated Emily for like 2 months, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't even know. So we were a bit underdeveloped in relationships in general. It wasn't your first. Your first girlfriend was Ariel, and she was dope. 3rd grade. But,
really cool person.
But with Ab and Emily, it's interesting because there was one day where I was like, you know what? I'm not, this is the end. This is the end of me and Emily. The age of me and Emily is over, and it needs to end. So I'm pretty sure, I don't think I told you. I think I jumped her first. I think we talked on the phone.
Yep.
And I was like, yo, do you want to hang out and talk? And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, you know what I mean? She was like, yeah, I know what you mean. She was like, I was thinking the same shit. And she was like, you want to just like skip the car ride and just break up? And I was like, oh, I mean, yeah, that's great. That's okay.
Perfect.
So we did that. It was all good. And then I went over to your house and I was like, yo, I'm a single man. And you looked at me and you were like,
I was on board. I was on board from the day I heard you're a single man.
It was the same day, actually. It's the same hour.
Yeah, that checks out. Yeah, I think it was too.
I mean, walk me through what happened. I know what happened.
The whole, yeah.
And you remember I told you and you were like, oh.
Listen, one of the many regrets I have, not many, I only have a few, but yeah, breaking up with Ab over FaceTime is definitely one of them. That was tough. That was not my finest hour.
I was there.
Yeah.
I was in the back.
I probably should have, gone over there and done that, but
you didn't have a car, so I would have had to drive you over there.
There was a lot of issues with it, and how was I gonna think about when you're 14? How are you gonna tell your mom? Hey, mom, can you take me over to my girlfriend's house? I'm gonna break up with her. Like, I wasn't gonna say that.
mean, she would have had to stay outside.
Yeah, how weird would that have been? And I would have had to like knock on the door. Hey, she's outside, so let's just get this going. Like, I want to break up. So I thought at the time, FaceTime. I was like, perfect, best of both worlds. You were even in the room.
Yeah, I was in the room,
which is a little fucked up.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, I said it was fucked up.
I mean, I sat in the back of the room. I was sitting in your recliner.
Yeah.
I was just chilling on my phone, and she didn't know I was there because I was in the corner.
Yeah.
So I just remember you sitting there on your computer, or your phone or whatever, and you're just like, yo, I think it's like we're going separate ways. I don't know what you said. You said some bullshit.
It was definitely some bullshit.
And then
I didn't really have a reason. I don't know, but you were my boy. I was like, yeah, let's ride this out. I don't regret doing that. We had a good summer. We had a really good summer. So
did we?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Fun summer, man. I
just remember when you told her, she just kind of like glitched a couple of times and just hung up. I remember that was it. That was the end of it.
I don't even think she responded.
She never did.
I don't think there was a response. Which
it was over.
Technically, we could. Yeah, we're still dating at that point, right? If she hasn't agreed to it.
I would say so.
So that means
she was cheating on you with Ish for a long time.
Yeah.
And then she dated Ellis, didn't she?
I don't know. I don't know if they
did. Did
dated.
She date Ellis?
Was that
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I haven't really kept up. I saw her and Emily at Loggerheads actually.
Yeah.
Probably like 2 or 3 months ago, and they sat. I don't think they sat at my table. I'm pretty sure when they walked in, I told my host, I was like, yo, I'm not serving them. Just because, like, it would have been, like, kind of, not awkward, but, like,
that's really awkward.
I don't know. I was like, I don't want to, like, serve them. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
No hard feelings toward them. I mean, they were both cool.
And like I said, I wish I could have dealt with that in a better way. But, I was young. I was definitely, I was dumb.
Learn.
I learned from that. So.
What did you learn? What did you learn from Ab's relationship?
From Ab's relationship?
Did you learn anything? That was so long ago, I feel like.
No, it was really long ago, so I don't really even know. We had a good relationship. That's what the fucked up part. Like, we actually had a good relationship, and, I just dropped it. But,
Were you gonna break up with her, or was it one of those things that you're like, I'm thinking about it, and then when I broke up with Emily, you were like, all right, fuck.
I don't even know if I thought about it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't really want to be in a relationship at the time. I was so busy, right? And, like, the thing with that was like, we really didn't. We hung out, but we would hang out, like, 2 or 3 times a week. Because I was just so busy. I was just, I was doing soccer every day. And if I wasn't inside, we were playing.
We kind of took off. That was my junior year. That was the year I was, like, killing it, I remember. And then I tore my ACL.
Unfortunately, yeah, Goose
Emily
Creek.
was there. Emily was there. She gave me strawberries that day, and I was like, thanks. My knees broken.
It was the strawberries. Stay away from strawberries, man.
Fucking strawberries, dude. But yeah, that was... Yeah, soccer at West Ashley was...
We were good that year. We should have done a lot more than what we did, but we were good a couple years. That's when we hosted Irma, I think. And
it was
we had
fun,
to post
too.
like 4 or 5 times, and
it was a fun time. Even with Coach Jackson being like a little, we're
allowed to say that.
Fun.
Are we allowed to say that?
I don't care.
Yeah,
I feel like it's fine.
The guy, listen.
What are you about to say?
I'm not gonna attack him because I think at the best, all he wanted was the best for West Ashley soccer, but he did not care about player development. So like I took a few chances, and I don't know. Do you remember this? I went to Vegas, and I went to Colorado, and I had to miss like 2 or 3. It was 2 or 3 small games. Like I wouldn't have done it if we're missing like Wando, James Island, but it was small games. I think one was a tournament, like a preseason tournament, and he tried to kick me off the team for it.
I remember that vaguely.
Which was it was insane. So like, I wasn't at practice a few times, and I just punishing a kid that way for like. It's a big deal to go to this tournament. So like,
that was a big deal. Actually, really big deal.
The moment then is when I realized he didn't really care about like how good I was or like what I would do. He didn't care about anyone, player development wise. He didn't talk to any college coaches for anyone on our team. He missed the mark.
Signing day. Did he come to your signing day?
He didn't come to my signing day. Did he come to yours?
No, he didn't come to my or my North South. I think he might have been at the North South game just because.
I think it was like a coach or something there.
Yeah, I think he was watching or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, he didn't come to the signing day. I was like, what?
I don't. My whole issue with him still is why take that job if you don't care about the kids achieving. To me, he just did it as a paycheck, and I didn't really have a lot of respect for that. But
pretty much, I mean, yeah, West Ashley, bro. I had fun at West Ashley. I had fun at West Ashley. I had fun at DISA. High school was good, I think. I mean, I had a good time. What did you think of West Ashley?
Like the overall experience of
Yeah.
West Ashley? Yeah, I didn't, I mean, there was 30, 40 people that I liked there out of a school of 400, right? No, I mean,
4,000.
4,000.
Yeah.
So, like, our class was 600 or something. So, I don't know. Hard to say that. The experience itself was good because I liked the people I hung out with. But,
There were some babes. There was a few babes. Like a couple.
Yeah, you know,
Few here and there.
our high school genuinely wasn't that bad. I think we all make fun of it a lot, but, you know, we could have had worse times. I mean, Friday nights were fun. Footballs were fun, man.
Fucking West Ashley was fun. Like that.
Yeah, I mean,
my
basketball,
junior years-
like when we were good, I mean, those games were a lot of fun.
It's true. It's true.
So I think it's who you hung out with. It's the time you put into it is really how you get a good high school experience.
True. Who'd you hang out with senior year? You remember?
Like, yeah,
'Cause I was gone.
Gustavo, Ish, Irvin. Hung out with Irvin a lot. You know, me and Irvin were roommates in college.
Oh,
So
shit, I forgot about that.
when all that happened, we started hanging out like almost every day. But, you know, I probably Irvin and Gustavo.
Damn.
Just really like the soccer team is what I hung
Yo,
around.
Irv. Keep this off record, but Irv.
Always
and
trip with a friend.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. I mean, you trying to talk about a little bit about psychedelics? We don't gotta go deep into it. I just don't know
Yeah.
if that's if you're trying to like protect your identity or something, or I don't know.
No, I will preface it with I've never done psychedelics.
Yeah, neither have I. Yeah.
So,
Psychedelics are just. Yeah, no. Never.
Whether or not
This is all fictional, but tripping is great. It's cool. And it also is super dangerous for some people. I haven't had that experience. I haven't had anything like bad. I think it's because I just treat all my experiences as like just stepping stones to understanding myself or something.
Yeah. Well, I think it can be bad if you're not in a good mental place at the time.
Where were you at when you took it? Or fictionally?
Well, I've never done acid. I've never done
But if
anything
you were,
like
where
that.
would you have been at?
Yeah. I've never done it before. Like I truly mean I've never done
Me
that.
neither.
Yeah.
Me neither.
I wish I could. I wish I could say I've done it.
shit.
But,
Damn, you ever struggle with like any kind of mental illness, bro? I mean, that's the topic that goes hand in hand with psychedelics because a lot of it's dealing with people who struggle with mental illness and they take psychedelics for that reason. Do you ever struggle with any of that stuff?
I don't know. Definitely not. I mean, I joke around like, oh, you know, I'll be depressed about stuff like this, but I don't really know if I've ever really been depressed. I don't know if I've ever felt like the lowest of the low, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't really, I don't know. I think everyone being sad occasionally is just like human life.
True.
Right.
How about
Like,
anxiety?
everyone, yeah,
stress?
I think we're all anxious. Yeah. You know, I get stressed about school and, you know, other things, but,
Yeah,
you know, but who doesn't, right?
that's true.
And I think
true.
that's because we're all like, or at least I am. I'm so like, just driven to be really good at something, and like, you know, like journalism is what I'm doing right now. So like, I get really stressed or like anxious if I have a project that I know I'm behind on and stuff like that. And
Did Hunter ever, like, do you think your come up growing up, like, I don't know if like the divorce and then like your brother being older than you, do you think any of that stuff contributed to like kind of your personality now, like being driven, wanting to do journalism, and like you started wanting to do law and stuff like that, but like, do you think any of that stuff had to do with it?
well, you know, I'm still thinking about law. I mean,
Really?
yeah, I take the LSAT in like a month or so. So
Oh, fuck. You're studying?
yeah. I mean, I've been doing that for 4 or 5 months now.
Damn.
I don't know. I take it in a month or so.
What are you going to do if you pass?
If I do well on it,
Like, if you,
yeah. So I don't know. It would just complicate my life. I would have to figure out if I want to. You know, I don't really know why I'm taking. Like, I really enjoy journalism. I love what I'm doing right now. But I don't know. I've always said I think law would be cool, and I don't just go take a test.
what kind of law?
Real estate law is what I'm.
Real estate?
I'd love to do real estate law.
Why?
It is just from what I've seen, and I'm sure people are gonna say it is not extremely easy, but it is extremely easy, and you get paid a lot of money.
Damn.
If you're good at it. But if you're good at anything, like, you
It's
get
facts.
paid a lot of money.
It's facts.
So,
Does that seem like something you want to be good at though? Because like that's hard to do. Like you have to pick something you actually like to go far in it.
for sure. I think that's the hardest part, knowing, like, I don't know, that's why I'm taking the LSAT, because I'm weary about just going all in on journalism. I don't know, maybe I
True.
should. But
Have you done? I mean, I know you're doing an internship right now for your journalism. Did you ever do any law stuff as far as like?
no, that would hurt for sure if I were to apply. So I don't know.
I mean,
I wouldn't have time anymore because I've just put so much time towards journalism. So I'm really banking on a good LSAT score.
Wait, but the LSAT's for law, right?
Yeah.
So what would doing well on the LSAT do for you? Because like
it would just get me into a law school.
But you don't. But you want to do like journalism, you think?
Yeah,
So like
I don't
if,
know.
if
We'll see.
so if you were to like pass LSAT, would your next step be like, all right, fuck, I guess I'm going to law school? Like
No,
push
I would.
journalism to the side?
I would definitely apply, see where I get into, and then just make a decision after that. Because I have till like March or April of next year to figure out really what I'm doing. So I have a while.
Yeah, that shit gave me anxiety because my freshman year of college when I was leaving Aiken, and I think this is before I told anyone, but I was thinking about leaving in general after, especially I went and shadowed at Roper. That was brutal.
Yeah.
I watched 3 separate surgeries and watched what the nurses did. And at least for what I saw, it looked absolutely just horrible. Just, it did not look like what I thought it was going to be. And the surgeries were just...
This is for nursing?
The nursing, yeah.
Yeah.
It just didn't look like... I was like, wait, so I'm going to all this school to, like, not even use most of it and just be, like, a bitch to all these people at the table and, like, clean up poop and stuff. And it was a bad experience.
I've dated nurses. I got a lot of respect for them.
I have plenty of respect for them.
Because I don't know how they do that shit.
That's what I'm saying.
I could never, ever be a part of that field.
Yo, me and T got that in common. I did a year of nursing.
There you go.
Fuck. I mean,
Y'all should be best friends.
We could be, fuck.
She might hit on you.
She's still dating Sal?
Yeah. She loves going for best friends. From what I've heard.
Shit. Damn. You trying to go on that, or just want to like leave that?
That's all I'm gonna say.
God.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yo, when that shit happened, we were all like, "Whoa!" Like that shit was kind of crazy because it was weird for me because you're like my longest friend in the sense that like we're best friends partially because of that, and that's like one of like the big things that you just share with someone who you've known your whole life. And then, but at the time, he was probably your closest friend. So like to see that, I was like, what?
Yeah, I considered him a brother. I really did.
Yeah. What was that even? How'd you even fucking deal with that?
I don't know. Hard to trust people after. It really is.
Fuck.
But you just you learn from it. Yeah. There were signs here and there of what he did or what she was doing, and looking back, it was kind of there, but just learn from it. Just recognize things like that, and I was naive. I was definitely naive.
You think so?
For sure. Yeah, I trusted him. I trusted him a lot, but.
Do you think she cheated?
I don't know.
Damn.
I don't know. I'd like to think not because
Sure.
I think she's a good person, but she definitely could have. I mean, they hung out a lot,
Fuck.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to that friendship.
It's a shame, dude. It's more of a shame that he would just throw it away like that. Like Teresa was mad at me, and I get that, but Sal had no reason to really do anything like that, and you're at a university with 30,000 people. Come on.
Yeah, that's fucked.
It's the way I look at it, though. I learned from it. I forgive both of them. I hope they're happy. I really do. But I'm just, I won't be there.
True.
With that.
Damn, dude. That shit, that didn't like mess me up, but I remember when I heard that, I was like, what?
Yeah, it should make you look over your shoulder, man. It should. A little bit. You're...
I mean, we're pigs.
Yeah,
we're pigs, bro.
I guess, yeah.
Fucking dudes.
I guess none of us got morals or loyalty anymore.
I mean, we have some, but like.
I guess when it comes down to it, that's. He chose who he thought was going to be the best path for him, I guess.
What? Did y'all talk after that happened?
We've talked a couple times. I don't know. We've been pretty cordial about it. He knows what he did. he knows what he did was, kind of shitty, and it ruined our friendship, but he's also not going to go back on it.
Because y'all worked together after that, didn't you?
Occasionally. We were same company. We didn't really it wasn't at like a restaurant or anything like that.
Fuck.
So
Man,
I think we worked a job or two.
That messed me up. I mean, when me and Meg broke up, she was like Snapchatting this guy who was like her brother, but I think it was like we had broken up for like a week, and then I forget like how I found out like she was Snapchatting him, like stuff that you don't send to your brother, and I was like, oh, so this isn't the same guy. And then when we broke up, like that weekend, I forget how I saw it. I probably stalked her or something, but like she posted like a picture with like, I think they went on some military ball or something.
Yeah,
dude, that shit blows.
it's always someone that you're not expecting. It's really weird, man. It's really
It's
weird.
fucked up, bro.
It's because if you could predict it coming, you would stop it. You know what I'm saying? So it's always someone that you're like, nah, that would never happen.
Yeah.
She said this, he said that.
What did you take from that though? Like, what can you actually take from that whole experience going forward? I mean,
well, just like what with like, I don't know.
Yeah. That kind of came out of nowhere. Just fucking hate blindsided you, right?
Yeah. Well, listen, I don't think it came out of nowhere. I mean, there was a past relationship somewhere in there, and good example of it didn't come out of nowhere. We broke up in like April or something like that, and he didn't hang, he didn't hang out with me at all that summer. And I would try to hang out with him, and he'd be like, "Oh, Teresa's coming over," or something like that. So going in, and I was going into my junior year, and we broke up like the end of my freshman year. So, the summer after, they're hanging out every day, and it's so I expected it in a sense, but I was more surprised that he would throw a relationship like that.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, shit. Relationships are tough, bro. I mean, I've been single for a minute now. I've been single since the end of 2018, I think. I had a couple like little almost relationships there, and I self-sabotaged myself. And now like
Yeah.
I sometimes I think I'm ready for a relationship, but then sometimes I'm just like, oh my God. Like it just seems like so much work. But
It's a lot of baggage that comes with it, I think you got to be mentally ready to get in like, a long relationship.
True. Yeah, I'm not there right now. 'Cause right now I'm like pretty much selfish as fuck with my time. Like I'm doing what I'm doing, and that's kind of like my mentality with it. So I feel like in a way that would work with a relationship, because like if she's doing her own shit and I'm doing my own shit, but I just don't know. Like I know if I met the right person, I would be like, oh, it's all worth it.
Yeah, it's got to be the right person for sure.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing I learned.
It's got to fit like a little puzzle.
Yeah. I learned recently-ish, especially after Meg. Like that was one of the things I picked up from Meg, was that you kind of have to be doing your own shit, and not like not caring what they think, but if there's someone that you want to attract in your life, you have to be doing those things that would attract a person like that to come into your life. So I was like, okay, well, if these are the things I want, and I want a girl that's likes these types of things, I need to start doing things in line with that. And that's when I started. Well, I mean, that's not exactly why I started YouTube and stuff like that, but I started like recording stuff, making videos. I think I was just bored with my time. I was like making a ton of money at the restaurant, and I forget why I started making videos at first, but I made a couple of videos, got like obsessed with it a little bit, got obsessed with cameras, lighting, angles, and then it kind of just took off from there. And now I'm like the travel thing popped up like 2 months ago or 2 or 3 months ago, and I was like, popped up like a year ago at first, and I thought about moving into the car, traveling, and then winter happened, and then Japan was like a thing. I was supposed to be in Japan teaching English. That fucking fell through completely.
Yeah, man. Dude, I was excited for you.
RIP to that, dude. Japan would have been cool. That would have been cool to document, being in Japan.
I mean, just the things you would have seen, like the experiences of it, and it sucks, like, because that COVID took a lot from a lot of people. It's just
it did kind of
stuff like that. And I think that's one of the untold things about COVID. Like, I was supposed to go to England, see my brother graduate from Sandhurst, which is like the Royal Military Academy. Pretty big deal for an American. Only 2 go every year, and that got canceled because of COVID. Just that experience, just going over there, seeing that got canceled. So,
Rip. What else did you? That was May of 2020 or March of 2020, right? So you were here?
Yeah.
In this apartment?
No, I was living at the station at the time.
Wait, you were where?
I was here. I mean, I was in Columbia, but it was just different apartment complex.
That's probably when Colin was probably at Olympia.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he had a hell of a
Holy
place.
shit, no, Olympia was fucking awesome. I remember that place was so cool. 'Cause the ceilings were really tall. And, like, they had, like, I remember he had a gym in there and, like, all this stuff. And I was like, oh, this is sick.
Yeah.
It had nice amenities, but the place itself wasn't the best.
Right.
I'll say that. I left for quarantine and I came back and my fucking room was filled with cockroaches.
Yeah.
What?
Top to bottom.
Just
filled with
awful.
cockroaches.
Oh, my God. That's
Yeah.
disgusting. I would shit myself if that happened. I hate cockroaches.
I hate spiders more.
I know.
I could take down a cockroach, but just spiders.
Yo, you fucking...
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, what the fuck? You hate spiders. Like,
Yeah,
you
I've
turn
said
into
it.
like a little bitch when there's spiders.
I'm not a bitch. I'm not a bitch about it. I'll kill it. I'll kill the motherfucker. But
Will you?
I mean, it depends, right? If it looks, if it's coming at me, probably not.
True,
but
same.
but if it's like, if it doesn't really see me and I can sneak attack that shit,
True.
It's
Well, I
dead.
remember when we played soccer back way back when we were probably middle school.
Absolutely not. I know what you're about to say.
The ball
It's
would be
bullshit,
in the fucking
dude.
bush, and I'd be like,
Yeah,
"Get the
I'm
ball."
not getting that thing because there was every single time we would go in, fat banana spider, just chilling there,
shit,
just like vibing, and I know it wanted to eat me.
For sure, yeah.
It
For
did.
Sure. Yeah,
No,
it's
it
gonna
did.
eat you,
It
yeah.
did. Whatever you want to say, it sees me as like I'd be set for food for a while.
Were you scared of snakes too? I can't remember if.
No, I don't. I mean, I'm not gonna go pick up a snake, but I have no issue with
True,
snakes.
true.
you know?
Snakes are chilling for the most part. They're just hanging
Yeah.
out.
I mean,
You know.
sometimes, but then they could be dicks sometimes and just like attack you.
I mean, if you ever been attacked by a snake?
No, I haven't.
I mean, cockroaches are. I'm like pretty certain cockroaches have some type of like how cats sort of have personality, like they can think
Yeah.
a little bit. You know, cats can think a little bit.
Are you gonna compare a cockroach to a cat?
I think
you
cockroaches
gonna-
can sense fear
We're gonna
and they
do that.
attack.
Okay, I mean, I don't think they do. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think that happens.
I mean, when has a cockroach looked at you and not attacked you?
Yeah.
Never.
I don't think I've ever seen a cockroach attack me.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Well, bees, bugs of all sorts, and cockroaches, when they see me, they beeline it. They literally beeline at me, and it terrifies me.
Have you thought about maybe it's just you? Like maybe you should change.
I mean, it's
something.
possible, but I feel like a lot of people run away from cockroaches.
I don't know. I got no
is that
issue
not
with
a thing?
cockroaches.
You good? Colin?
Man, I don't really. No, the only thing that I'm really terrified of, fucking bats.
Oh yeah,
Bats
bats
are
are fucking crazy.
Because of COVID?
dude.
Well, I didn't really think about it like that.
You do.
Nah, like,
Nah.
like those vampire bats that live in like
Yes.
Central South America. They suck people's blood.
Yeah, I don't.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I don't like any of that either. I'm gonna be honest with you. COVID didn't come from bats though.
They're not?
No.
I can't remember.
No, it's the story.
Oh,
that's
you
being
think it's
told.
biological warfare type thing?
I don't know, man. It just seems too. Something's going on, right? Like if you look at where it's from Wuhan. In Wuhan, there's an institute of virology that did specific like mutations to the coronavirus to make it jump to a human cell. I mean, they did it. It's well known. It's research.
Fuck. What do you...
There's just a lot of coincidences that all lead to that institute. And I'm not saying it's from there, but damn, does it look like it.
COVID conspiracies are some of the most probably real just because we're living in it right now.
Yeah, for
But
sure. I mean, no one really knows where it might not have even came from China. Like
It's true.
are we ever gonna actually pinpoint where it came from? I don't even think we can.
There's so many conspiracies with COVID. The vaccine conspiracies are
Yeah,
scary,
scary.
to say the least.
Because if they're right,
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Uh-oh.
I mean, it's not. Like,
We're in trouble.
It can't be real. I
Yeah, let
mean,
me
like,
get one of those.
it's just,
Yeah,
it's
thank
ridiculous.
you,
Some of the
thank you.
things that people talk about are ridiculous, but at the same time, like, we don't know, like, we don't know.
I don't know. I think the vaccines are really safe.
Are you vaccinated?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to figure out which one I want to go with.
I got
was
that
about-
Johnson and Johnson.
I was about to get that one.
Yeah.
But then they redacted it the next day. And I was like, yo, what?
I got it like 2 weeks ago. I'm
do you feel?
alive. I'm good, man. Yeah, there was nothing wrong with it. I don't know. I think
I'm
a lot
thinking
of people.
long term. Like, I mean, I've seen lots of videos on TikTok of conspiracies like turning to zombies, growing
Now,
tails.
I did see there's something going on with the hearts, like it inflames your heart or something. Like they think it has something to do with one of the vaccines. I did see that out there, and
Oh God,
that's not good.
that's no bueno at all.
It's not good at all, because I've said it. I said it. I thought it was really funny. I made a joke at the beginning, and I hope it doesn't come to light. But it's funny that they vaccinated all the healthcare workers and stuff like that first. Because if it did turn into like a zombie like virus thing, I mean, we're fucked. Like we don't have any nurses. All of our doctors are gone.
Are you saying that in the sense that it's a setup?
I don't know. Listen. If they turn into zombies, it's a setup. We'll find. But that's a very quick
what else
switch,
would you do?
and we're fucked.
What else would you do? You would, to be safe, vaccinate the healthcare workers first, right?
Yeah, I understand the issue. I understand why they did it. But I'm just saying, wouldn't it be like extremely ironic if they're the ones taken out? So,
yeah, that's why
I
I'm
don't
on
know.
the fence.
People put a lot of faith into the government, and I don't know. I've seen the government fail a lot. So I hope this isn't one of them. And it's not saying the government made this. Actual doctors and science made it.
I mean, yeah.
So hopefully, it works out. But if it doesn't, yeah. We're not going to have a fun 2021. I'm
just nervous. Like I want to get the vaccine. I want to be vaccinated. But in the back of my head, I got that little voice going, yo, what if this thing fucks you up in 2 years,
and
3
listen,
years?
I grew up watching The Walking Dead, okay?
Same.
So to say that I feel pretty confident I feel like I could live a little longer than the rest of them. And I could probably make it to where, I'm living in America that looked like The Walking Dead. I feel like I could get to that point.
What are you going to do if in like 5 years you see news and it's like, yo, if you got the COVID vaccine,
yeah,
you have a mutation in you now that does whatever. Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to be like,
is it going to kill me? What do you mean?
I mean,
or is
probably.
it turning me into a zombie? Is that true? Or are we talking about a zombie thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you going to start blasting TikToks about conspiracies?
I'd ride that thing out, I'd feel whatever it wanted me to feel. If I turned into... Listen, it would... Who knows what that turned your brain into, right? Like, I could just look different and still be the same one, But... If I do turn into a man-eating zombie, I need to be taken out immediately because I'm going to be an issue. I'm going to take a couple people with me. I'll tell you that much. That's for damn sure.
Well, a lot of the conspiracies at the beginning of the COVID thing were like kind of outlandish. They're like, yo, in like a year, everyone's going to be wearing masks. They're going to have mandates. They're going to have vaccine cards. You're not going to be able to go anywhere. You can't go to movie theaters without vaccine cards. And now that shit is kind of happening.
It could happen.
But also, like, what else would happen? Like, part of it's like, oh, we knew it, we called it. But then also it's like, of course we would have everyone vaccinated, so we don't have this, right?
It almost seems as if they were thinking what was going to happen. I think, like, to travel internationally, it makes sense to check vaccines and stuff like that because you got to do it anyways.
To back the conspiracy, you go, yeah, you're right. But also, it's like, that also makes scientific sense to do it. So, like, for me, I see both.
I think it's and
we won't know till in 5 years if we turn to zombies or not.
Yeah.
So it's like, fuck.
I don't want to turn into a zombie. I think that would really suck. But I took the vac. I don't want to wear a mask anymore, man. I'm so tired of it.
I thought I could just. I was like, you know what? Like, one of my friends was like, I'm not getting it, but I'm gonna just wear masks everywhere. And I was like, that could work. I mean, that's pretty much the same thing, I guess. But I'm just tired of wearing masks too, especially at the gym. Or like, I mean, it doesn't even make sense. You're at a restaurant and you walk to your seat with a mask on, you take it off and you sit down.
Yeah, a lot of when we were at the height of it, like in like June, July 2020, like even some of those rules, I was just like, this doesn't make a lot of sense. Like I think the majority of them were, this makes sense in theory, but you're just sitting there like, how can COVID not get me while I'm at my table? Did you think? Yeah, you close beaches, you close parks down. Like I remember, we were trying to go play basketball, and like we couldn't find anywhere. We got kicked off courts. We had people like escort us off courts of playing basketball, and this was like, it was probably March. Honestly, it was like right when the shit happened. But even when I think we went around it wrong, and that's
what do you think should happen? In hindsight,
I think we probably should have focused more on like making sure your immune systems are healthy. Like at the end of the day, like if you got a strong, healthy immune system, if you're like a healthy person, like, you know, I'm sure it attacks people who aren't healthy, but we should have focused more on that. And we didn't. We shut gyms down. I mean, there are places where gyms are still closed, you know?
That's true.
It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think the part that's screwing me up, especially specifically with vaccines, just because it's like one of those things, like once you get it, that shit's in your body. And in my head, I'm like, there's just so much shit that just seems so calculated, like the conspiracy related stuff where it's like, wow, that makes so much fucking sense. Like, fuck, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, shit, I don't know if I just trust these people. Like, you know, they're like, one thing they're saying, it's like, it's passed through the air. And they're like, the next thing, they're like, actually, no. Then like, okay, wear a mask. They're like, no mask. And like, actually, triple mask. And I'm like, what the fuck?
I was thinking about it today, like, you know, whether you think it was Trump or whether it was Biden, I think the government went about it in just one of the worst ways possible. To get through something like this and have complete and total, like, yeah, we'll take the vaccine, you know, we trust you guys. You got to get through the pandemic with people still trusting you.
True.
And I think at the end of this pandemic, like, everyone was like, fuck that, dude. You guys have been flip-flopping. You know, we had masks are bad for you, don't wear a mask. And then you're going, oh, you have to wear a mask. And, you know, if you don't wear a mask, you're killing people. Like, just seeing the government flip and flop in front of our own eyes, I understand why people don't take the vaccine.
I mean, I don't trust the government. Like, it's fucking, I hate that because I feel like a conspiracy theorist when I say that, but I'm not. Like, I think they're interesting. There's just so many here that a lot of it just seems sketch. A lot of shit seems sketchy.
I don't like the idea that, you know, governments are forcing it on you. And
but also, like,
it should be your own. I understand that, but, you know, it's not like governments force flu shots on you.
It's true.
And people are going to say that COVID's worse than the flu, and even if it is, you don't have to force it on people. There are rights, right? And we have rights, and you know, and I think the government's gone about it not in a great way. I mean, I got my vaccine, you know, but
I'm gonna get it.
I understand why people don't get it because it just looks sketch. I mean, even the way they're saying it, like fucking did you see the New York City mayor was like eating like a burger and fries, and he was like, it just looks so robotic, man. It was so weird, and he was like, you get this if you go get your vaccine, and you're just like, it's a little sketch.
There's just a bunch of marketing ploys where I'm like, God, I feel like they're trying to capitalize on this.
Yeah, I mean, what is it? Ohio did it for if you get your vaccine, you get entered into like $1 million lottery or something like that.
It's just weird. Like the fact that Pfizer, like, Johnson, and then what's the other one?
Moderna.
Moderna. Yeah, they're all like fighting for like the number. And I'm like, dude, which one is going to work?
Yeah. And they have different effective rates.
Everything's different.
Like the one I got's like apparently 85% effective. I didn't even know that. I was like, what? Why'd I get this shit?
It's like gamified. They're like, yo, take me. I'm like, no, take me. I'm like, well, are you both gonna work? And they're like, well, yeah. And I'm
is there a difference going on here? Is what I wonder.
I hate it, and especially since Hannah got it, the Johnson one, that got redacted the next day, and I was like, yo, what the fuck? Yeah. Because I was about to get that one.
That's what I'm worried about, man. Like, God, I could see like the CDC director coming on and saying, "Hey, we're sorry, but we fucked up here."
This is funny,
and then we're all just sitting there like,
This is funny because in the future, when we're looking back on 2020, 2021, we'll be able to see what really happened, what really went down, what's good, what's really good, and we're just gonna be able to look back on these conversations when it was happening, and we're just out here like not sure at all.
I don't know, man. Yeah, all this shit's above my pay grade too. You know,
facts.
I think there's a lot of warriors out there that are they've used COVID as a reason to push whatever platform they want. And
it's true. I mean, well, a lot of shit has come out of COVID. Like, I mean, I got into video and photography because of COVID. I don't know how it happened exactly, but I don't think I would have done it if this whole thing hadn't happened.
I think there's there are some things going on that I don't think would have happened without COVID. Like, there's always going to be some things like TikTok. Like, would TikTok would it have been as big without COVID? Like, I don't think it would have, man. And because what else are you going to do during quarantine?
True.
I think we all just kind of turned to it, and You know, that made people famous. It gave people like another way to like make a living, and I think a lot of good came from COVID. But I think that's because we're just like resilient people.
Yeah, I mean the whole entire like digital era of everything just got speeded up like times like 100x.
Yeah.
You know, everything went huge digital and then tanked again and then went up again, and right now it's tanking. Like the crypto world is just
What are your thoughts on crypto?
it's gonna take over. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's going digital.
Are you
Why
in?
would money not?
Have you bought in?
I'm very much in.
Okay.
I'm all
Okay.
in actually.
Oh.
So, I mean, it just makes sense. I'm like, look, if everything's going digital, NFT, we're gonna have digital art, digital homes, digital lives, like real life Sims almost, where we're walking around with like VR goggles and we're paying real. I mean, people are paying real money for Call of Duty, you know, and it's like on a controller game. And so I'm like, okay, so at what point is everything gonna go digital? Like Tesla's bought some Bitcoin.
And in a way, I mean, I only have cash because of like one of my previous jobs, which was valet. Like you get cash there, but I think everything's already digital. I mean, I would just walk around with a fucking plastic card,
Same.
you know, and like there's money on that.
Yeah, and right now
It's not crazy to think that, you know, crypto will take over, because it probably will.
It will at some point.
Yeah.
Right now, it's so early. Like, not everyone's bought in. 90% of people don't know what it is.
It's like the stock market right now, dude.
Well, right now,
People are just gambling on it, and
yeah. Well, stocks have been around for a while, so it has more credibility. With problem with crypto right now, the problem and the upside is that it's so volatile because no one's in, which means like a few 100,000 people do something and the entire market reacts, right?
Yeah.
Versus the stocks, there's millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in there. And so with crypto, it's so early that this is the only time you can make money on crypto. Otherwise, like, I mean, how often do you see GameStop happen on stocks? It doesn't happen. Stocks are pretty chill.
see the funny part. Do you think any of that would have happened without COVID?
So
We're
basically,
talking about crypto.
with the crypto, since it's so volatile and since it's just so new, like this is the only time you can really, really make money, like actual money. With stocks, you can put in, you know, $5,000 into AT&T or Amazon or even Tesla, and you'll maybe make like $100 in like a year or two. It'll go up like 2% or 3 or 4 or 5%. Versus crypto, you can buy in today in Cardano or something, and tomorrow it could go up 1,000%, and you get 100 extra money or whatever. And like that's possible. It happened with Dogecoin. I made 15 grand off Dogecoin.
Yeah,
Like stupid.
It's incredible the amount of money that you can make off of these things. Man, I haven't bought into it.
You need to get into some because right now we're in the biggest crash of crypto's history.
Yeah.
Which means everything's on clearance.
And it's gonna go up.
It will.
It's proven that it'll go up.
Well, we're about halfway through this bull market, so like we have plenty to go up. And if
What's
if
a
Bitcoin,
bull market?
Bull market's when everything's looking good. Bear market's when everything's looking like shit, which is kind of right now we're like in a little bearish area. But right now, as long as history repeats the last like 3 times, we're like here and here, and we're about to just take off. I mean, it could not happen.
Do you worry about it not happening?
Yeah, I do, because like most of my net worth is tied up in there. And not that I'm worried because I don't want to sell any of it, even if it were to go down. The problem is like a lot of my money is tied up in there, so I would have to cut my road trip short to work and make more money. Or I could get another job, like maybe mobile. But if it goes down again and it just tanks and like the market just really, really goes to shit, I'll get a job mobile and I'm just going to buy as much as I can. And then just cross my fingers and hope that in like a year or two, I'll probably 100x my money. And dude, if that happens, like I'm done.
Yeah, it will go up too. It's proven that it'll go up. It just depends. I think a lot of what goes on there is people are just gambling on.
Right now it's gambling. Right now there's no fucking thing. It's not investing. Right now you're gambling as fuck.
Yeah, so that's why I haven't gone into it.
You should.
I do my own gambling, and I lose money on that consistently.
So it's because you pick shitty things to gamble with. Like,
come on, no.
So like, I was gonna say, are you into stocks at all?
Yeah, I mean, I have a small portfolio for sure.
Because if you have like extra, I don't know how much you're like working or how much extra money you have. If it's like sitting in the bank, you're literally depreciating. You know, so it's like it just makes sense to just put it into like Bitcoin's. I mean,
it does. It does, but like, so what you're saying, like, let's say I have like $2,000 in the bank right now.
In your savings or your checking account?
Checking.
Okay.
So you're saying it's depreciating just sitting in my checking?
Well, it's not making any money. It's just sitting there making like 0.1%.
Yeah, but you're gambling that money right now.
So if you need that $2,000, I would keep that in there. Whatever you need, keep that in your checking. Whatever is savings, I would definitely have. Like I have an emergency fund and I have checking. And that's the money I need at this moment. anything else that's extra that I don't need to be using, I put into investments, into like solid things that'll
And
be
then
around.
it'll eventually go up.
Eventually go up. The
what
problem
you're
is
saying.
and what I need to do better, which I didn't do that well because I didn't expect us to fucking tank. I thought we were about to go into a huge altcoin season, which is like all the literal coins are supposed to blow up, and they will at some point, but I thought they were about to, so I bought in a fuck ton of stuff there, and then it tanked even more. So what I should have been doing is I was already up a lot of money. I should have pulled out all my initial investment.
Yeah.
So I would have no risk.
You'll always pay yourself. You always pay yourself.
I thought I was going to at some point, but I was like, I'll just wait until I can. You can't time the market. Is the
No. Well, that's the thing. That's why it's safe in my bank account right now.
It's safe in your bank account, but like, if it's safe in your bank account today and it stays like, and you like, if you don't change any of like your investment strategies, then like you'll be working forever. Like,
yeah,
and you'll
for sure.
never like have enough to like pay like everything off and like do whatever you want with money. Like I'm trying to be at a point where I'm just existing and money's coming into my bank account, like with dividends or whatever.
I think that's everyone's dream.
It is, and it's possible. Like this is the only time you can do it. Like that's the reason I push crypto so much right now is because one, we're in a clearance market, like everything's low, but also since it's so new, it's gonna go up. And as soon as everyone takes it, as soon as like, you know, Wells Fargo says, all right, we're going Bitcoin, all of the big companies, that means it's just gonna go straight high, which means if you bought here, you'll literally 1,000 extra money, which means you could put in $5,000 and walk out with like 5 million.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's kind of my strategy there. I'd rather take that risk now because even if I lose all my money, I can make that back in like a summer.
Yeah, I mean, all things are pointing to, you know, banks are going to pick it up. Like what I think, you can buy a Tesla with Bitcoin now.
I think so. I think they may have actually canceled that like recently because of energy consumption. But I mean, that was, I don't know. That was weird.
You know what? I've seen like to farm Bitcoin, it's like really, really bad for the environment or something.
Yeah,
like that.
but I think it's one of those things that like everything we do is like oil is bad for the environment. Like drilling in the holes in the ground is bad for the environment. Like,
see, that's why I worry about crypto, right? Because you know, paper, a dollar bill. I mean, is that bad for the environment?
I mean, it's fucking depreciating in value every year. We've printed a third of the amount of money in the entire USD in this 1 year to like pay for everyone's shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, everything just points to like at some point.
Don't get me wrong. I think at some point it'll happen, but I don't know how far that is. And you know, I enjoy my money.
I mean, like, what are you spending it on? Like, what I'm saying is like it's like a gamble that like could potentially have like a huge payoff.
Yeah, a massive payoff. And I don't know. I mean, I spend it on stupid shit, man. Like
what would stop you from putting $500 right after this podcast into Bitcoin? What would stop you? What would stop you? Like, do you need that 500?
No.
Something. I mean, there's a chance
theoretically,
Bitcoin drops again,
no.
But
yeah, there's a chance it drops again, and then I'm hurt.
But you're hurt, but it'll go back up. Is what I'm saying. Like you may just have to wait a few months, not have access to that 500. But you're working right now, right?
Yeah, but so yeah, I mean, I could sink money into it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not totally sold on it being the future, if that makes sense. Because I don't know if it's truly the future. It could literally just be these like last 20 years or these next 10 years. You know, like or it could be forever. People could pick up, you know, banks could pick it up.
True.
I don't know. I think it's too early. But I respect people who are putting money into it because they're the ones that are like actually pushing it towards, you know, where it needs to go.
I mean, that's the argument. It's like whether it's like some people are on the side.
I don't even know
like,
the first thing about it though. I don't even know how to buy that shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's just one of those things you just gotta like do research on. It's not that complicated. It's the same with stocks. Like once I got into investing when I bought Dogecoin as a joke last year, and I had the app like Robinhood or whatever it was, and I was like, yo, airlines are probably low right now. Like no one's flying. So I went and bought some airlines, and that kind of like opened the seed, and I realized how easy it was.
Have airlines recovered? Do you know?
Yeah, I've sold some.
Nice.
To buy more crypto, and then I still have some in there for just because. But yeah, I mean, it's easier once you like understand. Once you stake some money in there and you have a little bit of skin in the game, you start to like want to know what's going on. It's like now I'm obsessed with fucking figuring out what exactly blockchain is and like how, like why it is a better chance of taking over than
Do you
not.
think, because you say it's gambling, are you worried that you don't think it's gambling?
I think it's gambling right now because I don't know if the market's going to tank or if it's going to go up from here.
Are you worried that there's a lot of shitheads who are addicted to gambling who are putting all of this money in?
GameStop, dude. GameStop, AMC, like that's stupid as fuck.
So, yeah. So like, do you think that fucks up the market though?
It's stupid, but I don't think it's gonna matter because just now we saw the crypto was going like this, going up and up, and then it tanked, right? So all the people who had paper hands sold. That's 90% people who bought Dogecoin because they don't understand. And I didn't understand until I got into the world, but most people bought Dogecoin at like 40 cents, 50 cents. When you think about investing in money and percentages and shit, you go, okay, so if Dogecoin's at 50 cents and there's a chance it maybe gets to $1, what percentage increases? That's only 2x, you know? That's not a lot of money that you can make right there.
Yeah,
and so I bought
agree.
it at 0.002 or whatever it was. So like the only reason it's funny and it works is because I bought it so low. And I don't think people understood. People were like, oh, you buy Dogecoin, you make money. And that's most people with investments. And so I just think like the sooner you can learn, even if you don't invest in Bitcoin or crypto or whatever, like the sooner you can understand like how wealthy people make money, they just buy stuff that gives them money back.
Yeah.
So like once I make a big, if I make like 100x on one of my coins, I'm probably going to buy a fuck ton of AT&T and just live off and just keep buying AT&T like consistently because they give me out dividends every month. Like imagine if you just didn't work.
Well, those big companies, like I'm sure Amazon probably does something like that.
I think they do, yeah. So dividend investing is great. I just don't want to work forever. Like I'm already like sick of it and I'm fucking 23 years old.
Yeah.
Like,
you're 23, dude?
I'm about to be 23.
Wow. That's crazy. You're fucking
right?
old, bro.
Shit.
Yeah. I'm about to turn 22 actually. So
it's kind of weird that like
it's weird.
Now that we're 23 and we saw people when we were 17, we're 23. Yeah. We're like, yo, those guys fucking they got shit figured out. Like must be cool. And now we're here where it's like
it's interesting though, like you say, like shit figured out. Do you think COVID pushed people back a year? Because I was thinking about that. Like, it stopped everyone's life for, let's just say, a year. Like, do you think people who, are 23, they're going into like a market, they're going into whatever job, they lost that job. That job's not there anymore. So now they're pushed back a year. I mean, I think COVID's messed up a lot of things, and we haven't even seen the majority of it.
True. I think in some ways it stifled a lot of people, but I think the people who were going to win anyway are the ones who adapt quick. Those people adapted quick. I mean, I went from like working at a school to picking up a restaurant job, making exorbitant amounts of money, like getting into YouTube and video and photography. It's like in that way, and in Japan didn't happen. And so in that way, like I took off, but then I also lost an opportunity with Japan. I don't know. I think it was whatever you made of it at the time. I think a lot of people use it as an excuse though. People who are still on unemployment when they could be working and they're just living off that shit because they can. And so for those people, I think it just brought out their true nature. And the people who want to succeed did. And
That's
they
fair.
are.
It's a good way to put it.
But yeah, pretty much, bro.
I mean, people who are just willing to push through shit.
Yeah, I mean,
that was a lot of shit. I mean, it's not like you wanted to work at Loggerheads. I mean, you probably didn't enjoy that, right?
It was brutal. It was brutal working.
No, but
you
did it to make money.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think there are a lot of people out there who didn't do that.
Well, it's like a reframing. Like I went through a phase where I was like, where I'm kind of like a negative mentality towards stuff, and then I would watch all these like self-care, self-development stuff, and I got like super into that stuff for a while. And I found that like you can just reframe the way you think about stuff by like changing the content you watch. Because if you're just like, it's kind of the same as like whoever you're surrounded by, you're gonna start becoming like them. So if I'm on my phone for 6 hours a day or whatever it is, if that's 6 hours, if 4 of those hours are like stuff that's gonna help me or people like giving me positive affirmations, like I follow Gary Vee for the only reason is that half his content is him like validating me, being like, yo, keep going,
hyping
keep
you up. Yeah,
but, like,
he has the best shit, man.
Nobody's gonna do that for me. So I was like, fuck, it feels nice to see that a couple times a day. Yeah. And like doing that kind of thing, reframing instead of going like, man, I don't have $4,000 to invest. I want $4,000. And my head's like, okay, how would I get $4,000? That first in May, I got COVID, so I couldn't work for a month. So I put my mask on and I flipped shit, and I just made like $2,000 doing that, and I learned kind of like how business works sort of in that way. And I was just like, wow, this kind of worked. Like I flipped an entire home gym. I spent like $500, bought it, and I was like, yo, fuck. Like, if I don't sell this shit,
you're all in.
$500. Then it worked out, and I sold it. I think I like tripled my money with it.
Yeah,
which is nuts. But
that's nuts.
I think
that was the right time though. A lot of people
were
were like wanting to get their own home gym. All that shit was shut down.
Yeah, I mean, that brings up an interesting topic about just people and their mentality towards stuff, like when the odds are stacked against you and it feels like the world's like working against you, it really feels like everything's working against you because you have the mentality. You're looking for stuff that are fucking you up. You're like, of course that fucking door fell. Like, it wasn't working last week and it broke the other day. Like, of course it fucking did. I'm already dealing with all this bullshit. But then if you're thinking opposite, if you're thinking other things, you go, damn, my door broke.
Yeah.
Should probably just fix that. You know?
It's about how people think, right? It's a mentality, you know. I think if you're going into something and you're willing to make an excuse about, you know, not succeeding, like if I'm willing to make like let's just use the gym as a good example. Like if I'm going into like working out and I'm like, you know, I'm already pretty tired, you know, I could definitely use that as an excuse. I don't have to go. I think a lot of people do that, dude. Sure. It's
true. I mean, when I was, I guess my issue when I was trying to like be successful or feel successful, I wasn't like meaning to lean on other people's like thoughts, but I would like post things and like kind of hope in the back of my mind, like, oh, I hope this takes off. I hope people like this. Hope people like that. Or like I would put all this pressure on myself to be like, okay, this needs to be the one, or like I need to make sure I figure this out by next year. Otherwise, I don't know. Like there's no otherwise. There's no real thing on there. But I like pitting myself against myself almost. And I remember the other day, I forget where it came up, but I think I was talking to someone and I mentioned something that had happened like the day before that I posted about, and I glossed over it as if they knew, but they're like, wait, what did you say? Like, you did what yesterday? And I was like, oh, I did the thing, I made a post, and I like remembered that I was like, yo, people aren't like obsessed with my life like I'm obsessed with my life. Yeah. You know, everyone obsessed with their own shit because they got so much shit to deal with. There's
a good quote that I learned this semester. Just making like, just, you know, a normal news story, like a minute 30 story that would air on the news. And our professor was like, I can promise you no one cares about your shit. Like no one loves what you do more than you.
Facts.
And if you don't like what you're doing, like if you hate making that news story, that's going to be a shitty news story. You know? So no one's going to care more about what you're doing than yourself.
I have an example too. Like you know those Instagram posts where someone writes a long ass paragraph about like, I lost all this weight and like I pushed through all these boundaries and I fucking did it and like I worked through all this shit, and like I don't remember the last time I actually read a whole thing. I read 2 sentences and I was like, good job, like move on. But to them, that was the most they were probably so worried about being vulnerable, like what people are gonna think, is this good enough?
Got to make sure like this last sentence sounds correct,
yeah, like,
and no one's even making it to it.
Yeah, like this is it. Yeah. This is the post. This is gonna make everything work, and then you get like 55 likes and nothing else changes. Like,
yeah.
You're like, oh fuck, and then you do it again 6 weeks later because you forgot, and then you just are in a cycle that repeats forever and ever.
You got to be happy with that post. You know, I don't know. It's hard to find. It's hard to be like, to make yourself happy about what you're doing, because you constantly want like verification from other people.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a tough thing to do. It's a lot of like self-reflection, I think, is what you need to do. But
yeah.
COVID did a lot of that this year.
Dude, people got super obsessed, including me, with like self-reflection, like to the point where you're reflecting too much probably.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely that.
Because you don't do enough. You're like out here just judging everything you did. Like, oh, was this enough? And you're like, well, you could be just spending that time doing stuff instead of worrying about what you haven't done. And that's my problem. I overthink shit to the max. I do pair it with a decent bit of action, but I probably could taper down some of the overthinking because it's unnecessary. I'm sitting there, I'm like, yo, like I was driving to work a few weeks ago and I was like, man, I'm going to be late to work. There's so much traffic, and I was sitting there like worrying about the fact that I'm going to be late. Nothing I can change. I'm going to be late. Like, it's a fact.
You're already on the way. Yeah, like, you should just accept it.
Like, I can't help it. I can't help it. I can't stop.
Yeah, I'm the same way, honestly. I don't know. Maybe that's yourself, you know, just feeling bad about past decisions. Like the reason you were late or something like that. You know, like, I'm so stupid for doing that.
I guess so. I mean, I don't know about you, but like, I've worked on it the past year because I became aware of it, but like the amount of like when you talk to yourself, or you're like talking to yourself through something, you're almost talking as if you're like the wise one talking to like the stupid version of you. You're like, yo, quit worrying about this shit. Like, we don't have to worry about this. But then like, we are so fucking, or at least for me, I'm super like high standards for myself. I'm like, yo, you should have fucking known to like leave 10 minutes earlier. Like, are you fucking stupid? What the fuck? And I'll just get so upset. And then I'll just sit there and like self-pity, like, God fucking damn it, you know? And I'm like, man, why? I would never say that to someone else. I would never in a million years say that.
Well, you know, people love feeling bad for themselves. People love it. It's something that happens.
Yeah, I think people get addicted to that shit.
Yeah. It's a lot of excuses. It makes people feel, you know, okay with not achieving with whatever they want to do. And
True.
I don't know.
I saw a video where the girl was like, yo, if you were to split up your personality into two people, the one that was like the wise one, and one's that's like the little bitch that never does anything right, like, would they be friends? Would they even be like could you stand each other? And I was like, yo, sometimes no.
Yeah.
Like,
Probably
no.
not, dude. Probably
It's
not.
fucking weird.
Yeah.
You ever thought about that?
I've never thought about that.
Shit fucks you up, dude. At least for me, because I tend to overthink shit, but
I think everyone overthinks.
maybe. When's the last time you ever thought?
I mean, today, probably a couple times, honestly, dude. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like when you think about something, you want to do the best of that version. Or at least I want to do the best of that version. And
True.
I overthink every action, I guess, just making sure I'm doing it correctly.
Yeah. I
Maybe
remember
that's the way I was raised. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's like, it's interesting you say that, because I was literally about to say that when I was doing all this research and getting obsessed with like trying to figure out the why I feel certain ways, or like why I act a certain way or think a certain way. And I was like, damn, a lot of it came from like when I was a kid. And so there's like a whole industry about fucking like working on yourself, like healing your inner child, psychology and shit like that. And I was like, man, it's probably true, but I think me and so many people get obsessed with like just figuring out why, instead of just, or I don't know, like trying to figure out like every detail, like why every single decision, like which one did it always like go down deep to, when you could just be like, it was probably because of this, and then you just move on.
You just move on.
Accept it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, including myself, struggle with accepting it. We have to know every single thing and why every single thing makes us feel a certain way.
I don't know. I think that's one of my favorite traits about myself is I move on from stuff really quickly. I don't know how I gain that.
You actually move past it? Like, do you really just not think about it after?
No.
Even like 2 years later?
No, it doesn't, unless I'm asked about it, it doesn't affect me. I just move on with my life. And I don't know how I did it. And
Hunter.
maybe, man. It could have been my brother.
Hunter was hard-headed. He didn't give a fuck.
He didn't care.
He was like, yo, quit being a bitch.
Yeah.
That probably helped. I mean, you grew up with an older brother, very fucking, just like a normal-ass dude, like works hard, pretty chill, you know, pisses you off sometimes. He's not afraid to speak his word, but he's also like a man's man. Like, he's a dude, you know?
He is a dude.
He's not afraid to just be a fucking man about certain things. And like, I didn't grow up with that. I grew up with a fucking little sister who was a fucking weirdo growing up. And then a dad who just didn't want to rock the boat. And then an Asian mom who never spoke. Like, she just would chill there and never really say anything. So I never grew up with that, like, thing around me, I guess.
Well, you're a product of your environment.
True.
That's who people are, you know?
Yeah, that's why it's fucking funny when I see you and Hunter together. Because, like, you guys are so alike in some ways, but you're so
Yeah, we're definitely different in a lot of ways, man.
I haven't seen Hunter in so long, dude. Man, I just remember when he would drive us to fucking high school. I remember that first day, because that was the first time I heard a country song, I think. It was in his truck. It was Parking Lot Party. And I was like, damn, bro, this song kind of slaps. And then I listened to country music.
He almost killed us multiple times in that drive, by the way. What a terrible driver. Still is a really bad driver today. But
dude, when I was growing up, I thought Hunter was like the fucking man. I remember I was like, yo, this guy has fucking figured shit out. He's got it. Like, he was so confident, I guess. You know, like, he was really confident, I think.
Yeah, he's a confident kid.
He's a confident motherfucker, and that probably rubbed off on you. Because you definitely did, now that I think about it, have a pretty solid confidence factor.
Yeah.
By yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I really just don't care, if that makes sense. I don't really care. Like, unless your opinion really matters to me, like, if you're, you know, like, I guess growing up it was soccer coaches. Like, if those I cared about those opinions, but like now, I mean, if you're a peer, if you think I'm shit at what I do, I don't really care, man, you know.
Yeah, did you have anything you were insecure about growing up? That you were like, man,
yeah, my height, for sure.
Fuck, yeah, me too.
100%.
I'm glad I was taller than you, though.
Yeah, it's such bullshit, dude.
There was a time, though, when Dalton caught up to me, I was like,
I was there, man. I was there, and then you hit another bit, and I didn't, and and we're here.
You're fucking.
By the way, I'm not that short.
You're not. You're really not. It's just
some slander's been thrown on my name, and it's bullshit. All right, there are a lot shorter people out there. I'm an average height.
You really are.
I'm probably tall in some countries.
You are. Japan, you're tall.
Shelf?
Guaranteed.
Really?
Well,
Dead
right,
ass?
this table is this is probably the second to highest shelf at a grocery store in Japan.
No.
Yeah, it's fucking like you can literally do this and reach the top shelf. It's really really short. People
I'm gonna
are
get a
short
flight
there.
to Japan, dude.
You can't buy shoes. What size shoe are you? 12? 11? 10?
10? I'm 10,
You can't
yeah.
buy shoes.
What?
Too small or too big.
That's okay.
It's
That's
fine,
okay.
but it's just
That's
one
a
of those
small
things-
price to pay. That's a small price. I'll just get my shit shipped in.
Facts. Yeah, no, I remember you
I'd
you
move to
were
Japan.
little for a long time, and you just kind of randomly were just not anymore. I just remember you. I was like, yo, he's like my height all of a
Yeah.
sudden. I think that may have been the period when we weren't hanging out as much because I can't remember. I just remember you were little. You weren't that good at goalie. You were decent, and then you just kind of showed up and you were fucking tall and good.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, all right, that works. I mean, we're playing.
That's
high
how
school
that
soccer.
works. Yeah. No, I mean that was like my freshman year is when because you got there sophomore. You went to West Ashley sophomore year, right? Yeah. So
That was a good time, dude.
I was right around them. Yeah. I'm glad you went there though. You might have had a better time at Porter, but
I don't think I would have, honestly. I'm pretty
yeah,
glad I left.
You're cool with that decision still?
I'm not friends with anyone from Portugal.
Nice.
I don't think I have any connections.
It's an interesting school. I always think some people can, survive the private school life, and some people just aren't about that.
I fucking scored against Portugal. I
Yeah.
remember I scored against
Damn
them.
right. Damn
First
right.
time we ever played. No, second time we ever played against them. I scored against them, and they won state that year. So yeah, I should be professional. Yo, Joel just signed with the Charleston Battery.
Joel's
Holy
dude.
shit.
Congrats to him, man.
Yo, shout out Joel. He's gonna be in the podcast this week. Actually,
Is
I
he?
hit him up. I was like, yo,
Good for him,
we should
dude.
probably talk about this because it's your first contract. Like, we should talk about this at length because this is the only time you'll ever be in this position again.
Yeah.
It's like, what if you hit it big and you go play in the Premier League? Like, you're gonna have this to look at.
Exactly.
He was like, shit, you're kind of right. So hopefully we'll be able to link up this week. But damn,
No, you
dude,
should link up with him, man.
Such a good
Joel's
guy.
always been such a great guy too. I'm sure he would do it.
he's the most chill dude fucking ever. He's
Yeah.
so chill.
Doesn't really care about people's opinion either. I saw him like over quarantine. He came into Lloyd's and
Hey, really?
yeah, when I was working there, and he's I asked him and he was like, yeah, man, still playing. I think he was playing for Charleston United. Good for him though. That's if the Battery used him correctly,
He can go.
he would be a really good player there,
He will outgrow USL. I think if they put him in
should.
the position he should be in.
and he should. I think he might have ended playing right back.
Yeah, he
at
did. He was playing
Upstate.
decent or
Yeah,
defense.
but he's good at defense. He's really good. He's really good everywhere, but man, he shut down. I saw him play up here like 2 or 3 times. He shut down whoever he was playing. You can't really get past him, and I think that's a mentality because he was a striker,
Yeah,
so he
he
knows what other strikers are going to do.
True.
So if the Battery used him correctly, he'd be huge for him. But
Yeah.
I've seen the Battery not use players before.
Yeah, dude, they and what's his name? Nico from
Yeah.
College Charleston. That guy, I remember I watched him in a couple of College Charleston games, and I was like, yo, this guy's fucking good. This guy's really fucking good. He came to the Battery. He's still really good, but like I just feel like he hasn't hit that potential where I'm like, yo, he's better than this. Like sometimes he'll play with like a little bit of like hesitancy. It looks
Yeah.
like, I don't know if you noticed, but whenever Nico's playing, I'm like, dude, go down the line. And he'll always cut it back, or every now and then he'll go and dribble, and I'm like, dude, he got it. Like every time he tries, he does. Like
I would assume that's why that's. Professional soccer is. It's just so much. It's so much faster in the sense that you get your own space. Like people know where to be. Like even in college soccer, like our college soccer's coach was his slogan. Dude, what was his slogan?
Ike, you talking about?
Yeah.
Does he even have a slogan?
No, yeah, his slogan
Get
was
the ball.
strength and speed or something like that.
That's how he played.
You'll win a game with strength and speed. I wish I remembered the exact one. That's not what it was,
Coach
but
Ike.
yeah, it's just completely different from college though. Like college, if you're really fast and you're pretty strong, like you're gonna excel.
Pretty much.
And it's not. We can get in a lot of things about college soccer. I think college soccer is pretty.
Yeah, what do you think about it?
It's bad for U.S. soccer. That's what it is. It's bad for U.S. soccer. If you're gonna have college soccer, you have to have those college soccer teams playing how the rest of the pyramid plays. Like if you're going from D1 and you can't play in MLS because D1 soccer is just not as advanced as what it should be, then you shouldn't be going D1. You should just be going straight into the MLS. And
True.
You know, people were doing that, but the only way you could do that is to go through an academy.
No, I definitely agree with that. As far as
What do you think about
professional.
college soccer?
I
What was your experience with college soccer?
I almost loved it. I was this close to loving it. I don't know if you knew this. I was like genuinely the first sub off the bench. Me and Roberto were the two subs off the bench first for the first 4 games of the season, and I was like, "Yo, I might like be a real part of this team." I didn't think I was gonna be at first because I failed the fucking fitness test by like 10 seconds, and then I couldn't. You know, after you miss that first day, there's no chance you're gonna.
It's impossible. You can't make it.
So I
after
missed that. That
man.
really sucked. But then the rest of that practice leading up, and I had a couple of games under my belt, and I like almost scored my first game. I almost scored. Like I literally had a beamer from like 30 yards, and he saved it. And I started celebrating because I visualized in my head, and I was like, yo, this is a goal. I just scored a college goal, and I started celebrating, and he saved it. I was like, fuck. And then one game later, I fucked up. I had like a bad day, you know, just every touch was just not it, and I just never played again pretty much. It's a tragic.
That's how it is. Yeah, I mean that's.
How about you?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed the team a lot. I enjoyed being around those guys a lot.
True.
And it's really the only thing I really miss from soccer.
Yo, I really fucked with our freshman group. Like we were all so cool. Like Davis, I don't know if you know all these guys, like Davis, Marshall, Pedro, Roberto,
I love Pedro.
Conley, like
Roberto,
just so
all of them.
nice, you know.
Conley, love that kid.
I definitely think the one thing I missed that I think if I had stayed to an upperclassman, I would have changed because I naturally just take a leadership role once I get more comfortable, is that I would have made it easier transition for the freshmen because it was tough. That transition from senior high school to freshman, you know, just deadbeat. You
so
suck.
much faster, man.
Well, there's just no confidence. No one gives you confidence. The coach isn't giving confidence. The seniors are like, yo, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. So like I couldn't like.
It was the environment there. I think it wasn't instilled there. I guess when you're supposed to show up, you're supposed to know how to play college soccer. But
You just need confidence. Like, I didn't have confidence. As soon as I had that first hiccup, and
someone there
took
should
me
be
out.
giving it. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess
helps.
that's one of the most frustrating parts about what that was the whole environment, the whole way it was set up, practice, you know, even going into the games. Like, God, dude, we were one game away from playoffs, and we were playing North Georgia, which is a far drive. You know, it was like
That's the team I almost scored against. Actually, I think.
Yeah, good. Fuck those guys. It was like
Fuck
a
the
5-hour
goalie.
drive, dude, and we were supposed to leave at 6 a.m. something like that, really early. I mean, he didn't show up for the bus. This is the head coach. He didn't show up to the bus until 6:30. So we're already 30 minutes late. You know, but you allot for that. So like we arrived in North Georgia. Game was at like 6. We arrived at like 2.
Yeah.
Plenty of time. We were in the locker room, and man, I wish we had some boys here that would explain. We were in the locker room, and it was like 5:45. The game starts at 6, and we're just sitting there. And Coach Ike is just in some office, and we're just all like, "Are we gonna warm? We have not warmed up yet. Game's at 6.
Why didn't you guys go out?
Because we went and asked Coach. We were like, Coach, like we have to go out there. Like we need to warm up. Like this is a big game. Like what are we doing right now? And he was just like, I guess he lost track of time. I don't know what happened. We didn't get out of that locker until like 5:55. We walked on the field, immediately played, and we lost 4-0.
We did that a couple times, actually.
Lost 4-0. It was the last game of the season. We had to win that game to make playoffs. And he didn't give us... I maybe touched the ball twice before the game started. Like, are you kidding me, man? Like, we got, like, our strikers didn't even get shots because they're not going to shoot on, like they're cold, dude. Like we didn't have any type of warm up, and then now you're expected to go against. I mean, North Georgia's a good team. Anyone in that league's good, right? So you're expected to go against players that are all really good, and now we're cold as fuck. We're not playing.
I was unprepared for how physical college sports is. Like it is 6 or 7 levels above high school. Like the difference between high school and college, even D2. Is absurd. I mean, these kids, these are fucking men.
Yeah, I was surprised by the amount of internationals that were.
Yeah, dude, so many internationals.
Dude, some of the best players I've ever seen were playing in Division II Peach Belt Conference.
I mean, Andre and Jordan both
Like,
could have been anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan's playing pro in Portugal, and Young Harris has had like 3 or 4 players the past years get drafted by MLS teams.
Young Harris beat us 12-1.
Yeah, Young Harris is a very good team.
Man, I got turned around twice in that game. He did a scissors, I went this way, and then he did another scissors, and I went this way, and then he went this way around me, and I did 2 circles around myself, and I fell over.
Unfortunately.
And that was the last time I played the entire season. And then Roberto scored 5 minutes later, so it was all good. But yeah, dude, that college sports, I was not ready for how fast. I thought I would have more time on the ball.
Yeah.
But as soon as I got the ball, I was closed down like instantly within a second.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any,
like
no one was getting open for me, and I was like, yo. I remember like Chris was center back, Chenko I think was left back, and then Rodrigo, who are all solid as fuck, all decent, can play with the ball, should
really
know what they're
good,
doing.
yeah.
And I would get the ball and like they weren't like getting open for me. They were just kind of looking at me, and I was like, yo, how am I supposed to do anything if people aren't working around me? Like the whole time when everyone else has the ball, I'm trying to get open. They don't pass me the ball.
It was just kind of expected for you to like. I thought a lot of what that team had was individual talent. Like we never played as a team.
True.
I think a lot of our experiences come from just poor leadership, whether that's at the captains or with the coaches. I mean, we didn't have a goalie coach. I mean, we're a college team. We didn't have a goalie coach, man. That was one of the main reasons why I wanted to leave. And when I left, I was planning on playing again. I mean, I got a few offers, and I was going to go play somewhere else, but I was just burnt out, dude.
I was done.
It's tiring,
I started
those 6 a.m. workouts.
Dude, oh my fucking God.
It's awful, dude.
I stayed for the spring because I wanted to say I did a year of college, and I did. And the last game of the season, I started. I was a starting 11, and I was like, yo, maybe I should stay. And I was like, man, I fucking don't want to be here anymore. So I quit.
Just a lot of things were against, we didn't have proper practice. Like, our practices were like, I mean, if you know anything about soccer, like 11v11, we were playing, it wasn't even 11, it was a full field, 6v6, and there was no walking. So it was just sprinting.
You can only go forward.
You can only go forward with the ball.
It wasn't enough.
If you go backwards, you lose
technicals.
the ball.
It wasn't enough technical stuff.
I understand, if you want to get us fit and, do that 2 or 3 times, 2 or 3 times a week, it's fine. But
we were in shape.
We didn't, yeah, we were really in shape.
Very much in
we
shape.
were really in shape team, for sure.
He could have pushed back the pedals on fitness and worked a little bit on technical shit. Like, we did some passing, but it wasn't like practical. It would be like either like a really stupid
I didn't
drill.
do any possession while I was there.
We did a fuck ton of possession when I was there. We did a bunch of possession and a bunch of like 7v7, which is good, but I thought there were some things we didn't work on. Like we weren't scoring many goals. We probably did 3 shooting drills the entire
season.
Fucking season.
100%.
3 shooting drills. I was like, yo,
I don't even know if we did that many my freshman year, dude. I don't even know if we actually did. It's frustrating in the sense that we could have been. I mean, my freshman year we had a really good team. Poor leadership led to a couple people getting suspended that were pretty crucial.
Yikes.
And season's over at that point. You're starting left wing and striker's gone. You're done.
Damn.
So,
RIP college sports, bro. RIP Aiken. Still love that place.
Conley's still playing soccer. He plays up here.
Conley?
Yeah. Conley.
What do you mean? Where does he play?
I don't know. He plays at like SC United or some shit like that.
Really? Dude, that fucking Conley loves soccer. That man, if there's anyone who loves soccer, is Conley.
By the way, shout out to Billy, the only person from your class. The only
You say it? He graduated?
Let me put this out there. The only person from a 20-person freshman soccer class, Billy, congrats. He stayed the entire time.
Shout out Billy Jones.
Good for him.
Shout out, he's my ex-roommate.
Good for him.
Some sketchy shit happened in my apartment when I lived with him.
He would deny all of it. He denied all of it.
We don't need to go into any details, but some sketchy shit happened. Shout out Katrina, too. That was another thing that happened there. That was kind of funny. Man, fuck. I forgot. Well, he was mad at me for a while. I heard Katrina told me because I left without saying bye to him. And I would have. He just wasn't there. Like, I was leaving that day, and I didn't see him for like a week before. He lived with me, but he never came home. He was always like at his house or like somewhere else. So I would see him like once a week or something for like a couple hours. He'd just be sitting in the room doing whatever. I'd be like, yo, and we'd talk. Like, he was cool. I loved him. He was a really good guy. I just I left, and I was like, yo, I'm not coming back, and I don't know where you are. And so I left, and and yeah, but I still have actually a couple connect. Like I visited in 2020, right before the quarantine, like in September, October, we had a hurricane season, and I visited that guy over there. I visited, I don't know if I visited you or not. I visited Sydney, Hilburn, and Clemson. And I visited Aiken area.
Yeah, you came to Aiken. Yeah.
Wait, you were at Aiken in 2020?
No, dude, that was 2019. That's when you did that for sure.
Yeah,
Was it 2019?
Yeah.
Oh shit! So it's okay. So that was a while ago then.
Yeah, that was
Oh no,
like
yeah,
the semester
2019.
before
Yeah.
I came to South Carolina.
So did I must have seen you, right?
Yeah, you came to my house.
Oh yeah, I think I can barely remember. I remember you talking to Big Game.
2019's a long time.
You were talking to Big Game because you were like, "Yo, our house is the house for parties," and I was like, "Fucking bullshit."
It was, dude. It was. Let me get that straight on the record, by the way. Klein Street, where we
Street.
lived.
Shout out Klein Street.
Shout out Klein Street. The boys will know what that is, but that was an incredible place, and it is very much so missed. 200 Klein Street, by the way.
Yo,
200.
the one thing I miss about campus, like a campus college like Aiken, is there really is like a camaraderie there that you don't get on other campuses. Like you can't get that same camaraderie in College Charleston. We're in a city.
No, yeah, it's
USC
true,
is
yeah.
like you're in a big fucking city. When you're in a campus like Clemson or Aiken or something, it's different. Like even though like I didn't know all the people at Aiken, I felt like a family vibe there. You know, everyone's like we're all
Just
here.
smaller. Yeah,
it's a small
we're all
town.
here. We're all living in Aiken. We're
I wish I was
getting
more
through
confident
it.
at that point. I wish I had more like just less self-doubt at that point because I was still dating Emery and like she had trouble like letting me go out and stuff. But,
How was that? You questioned me. How was dating Emery during your first year?
it was fine. I mean, I was chilling. She was struggling a lot with like self-confidence in the relationship just because I was out in college, like college girls. She's like hearing all this shit. Apparently, like boys on the baseball team at Aiken were like messaging her and be like, "Yo, Kate's hooking up with these girls and these."
Yeah.
And I was like, "I don't even know you." Like, I literally didn't. I was like, "How do you know Emery? Like, what the fuck is happening?" I guess it's one of those things that in a small town you just find shit out about people.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were just like chirping, like none of it's fucking true. And so she would like freak out, and when we broke up. Juan, bitch ass. Juan, I'm just kidding. I don't care anymore. But like when it happened, when Juan like, anyways, the whole thing with like Emery blew up right after we broke up, and she had like texted me. She's like, "Yo, I can't believe like," or I can't remember exactly what it was. Something about like, "I can't believe you're like hooking up with these girls. Like, all these guys have been telling me like there's just like 3 girls that keep coming to your apartment and blah blah." And I was like, Katrina, maybe? I was like, we're just best friends. Like, that's pretty much the only girl who comes in my apartment, unless it's like Conley or Brandon's friends, I guess. And I was like, it's just a bunch of bullshit. And it was just that.
It's weird people were watching you.
It was
as well.
insecurity, dude. There's a lot of pressure because we had like fucking fan pages on Instagram, which is strange. Like, that was really weird, dating someone who like genuinely had a public, I don't even know, like a public profile or people that cared about it. It was weird.
Yeah, she had a social following for sure.
Yeah, I gained a lot of followers from her. Fuck. I gained a lot of followers from her. We were just both insecure as fuck. I was a little bit more secure just because I was a little older, but I was so insecure just in general. And she was definitely insecure because she was a little younger. And it was just, it probably shouldn't have gone into college. We probably shouldn't have done the long distance, but we still made it work for the most part. Like, it was still good. I still loved her. Still loved seeing her. But I hated the fact that she was always like second guessing me. And I was like, yo, I'm not going to cheat on you. Like, I'm just not going to do that.
Yeah, that was something I ran into as well. For sure.
With your girlfriend at the time?
Yeah, definitely.
I just like, I don't know, it's not interested. When I'm dating someone, like, look, I'm choosing you here. So like, I'm not cheating on you. It's just a fact. I'm not going to. It's not going to happen.
Some people think like that. Some people don't. Oh, you're a generous person.
Shit. I mean, fuck. I mean, all right. Yeah, fuck. Long distance, that's tough. I don't know if I want to do that. I think it might happen at some point. It'll be easier now. Thank you. Because I'm not as like insecure, but fuck, dude, long distance. Just doesn't sound fun, to be honest.
It's not fun. It's not something you want to do, for sure.
I don't know why this doesn't taste so bad here for some reason.
Busch Light. It's a beautiful beer.
Well, I used to, whenever I would drink beer, I would just like puke pretty much after, or just be like, "Whoa, this actually doesn't taste bad."
Yeah, it's God's water.
I don't know if I would go that far.
No, it's God's water.
God's water.
You got some ink on your
Dude, this shit
Let's talk about
fucking
that.
hurt. This shit fucking hurt really, really bad. This one,
What went through the process? And honestly, now that we're talking, what does joyage mean? I want to know the
Joyage
definition of what
is
this
more
is.
of like of a verbal expression of like me, I guess. I came up with it like a year ago, maybe, like in the summer of 2020. I came up with a name because I was like, I need a website name. I need some type of like name brand thing. And I was like, like I kind of like the word voyage, but it's already taken. And it was funny because I always thought that like combining words was stupid. And I was like, it's so like not, it's just stupid. I was like, I would never do that. And then I was like, man, I really like these two words. I like the way voyage looks, but I kind of like the J. So like maybe it's Joyage. And I was like, that's kind of stupid. So I kind of left it in my notes for a while. And then one day I was like, okay, I'm doing photography. I need a website. So I was like, fuck it, let's do Joyage. That's fine. Never thought anything of it. I'm like, over the course of like 5-6 months of me just getting better and better. And then I started getting ideas of like, well, maybe I want to do something with my life. And I was starting to like feel more like powerful, I guess the word would be. Like when I spoke, I like, especially with the podcast, I was like, man, this is like a good name. I'll just name Joyage will work. And so I just kind of went with it. And then over time, it just became like this thing. And like people like around me, like my friends and coworkers would like, they like liked the name, which was interesting because I thought it was stupid.
Yeah.
And I was like, not insecure, but I was kind of like, I don't really want people to know. And then it kind of picked up a little bit. Like I had a couple of videos that didn't go viral, but they like sort of like I gained a lot of followers from them. And I started getting confidence with it. And then it just kind of like happened. And then the road trip started becoming a thing. And then kind of like the idea of just not settling became what it was. So I wanted to get the tattoo on my hand because I like the idea of pushing myself against the wall and like back myself in a corner to where I have to scramble to get out. Because like this is not a smart place to get a tattoo. It's just not. This is a horrible fucking place to get a tattoo because you can't hide it. You can't hide no matter what. I can hide.
True.
I can hide this. It's fine. I'm gonna finish the sleeve, but I was like, man, I don't want to work at a place where they're like, yo, you're great, your skills are great, we love you. You just got some letters on your hand. It's not gonna work. You know, I'd be like, dude, people have pink fucking hair. What do you mean? Like, let us do whatever we want. It's our bodies, you know. So I just like the idea of just doing whatever I want and just figuring it out as I go. And that's kind of like what this whole brand is. That's why like when I am struggling in my last week of the podcast, I was like struggling hard because I'm like doing all this shit that I wanted to do, but I feel no satisfaction from it. And I was like, man, this fucking blows dick.
Yeah.
And I was like, it blows dick. But that's just part of the journey.
Yeah.
So,
you got to embrace that part too, you know? Not all parts are going to be top of the summit.
But it all adds to the. It's like kind of like a storyline. Like when I made my YouTube channel, I still don't know what it's gonna be about, but it's kind of like a storyline, like TV show almost of like my life. Like I have weeks where I'm like, yo, everything's fucking great. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and it's all like good shit. And then like 2 weeks straight of just like, yo, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. This sucks. But it's kind of interesting watching those ebbs and flows.
I'm sure people resonate with that too, man.
Yeah, and I think that's
it's nice
thing.
seeing people like in a similar position. If,
True.
You know. And
True. I mean, I watched a lot of those videos like when I was going through that time of like people, but it was like a bunch of people were. It sounded like bullshit a little bit, and I was like, man, there's just so much you could help just by showing where you're struggling, because then it just shows other people that like, yo, everything isn't always smooth sailing, and then you always hear about it. You're like, oh, everything's not smooth sailing. Like I have shit I deal with, but they never talk about it at length, not as it's happening. So like, yo, that's something kind of different that I do that other even big YouTubers that I like or big people who are social media followings, they don't really show that as it's happening. They talk about it after maybe.
Yeah, well, yeah. There's probably multiple reasons why they do that, but they definitely talk about it after.
Yeah, because you learn. You got hindsight.
They talk about their life during it, and like man, like all those Disney stars, right? Like they've all turned in. they've all said Disney, Nickelodeon, like those teenage kids, like they've all said their lives during it were just awful.
Yeah, but you never saw it.
But you never saw it.
Yeah, so
and I think it would have been kind of cool to see, or I guess not cool, but it would have been important for people to realize like these kids are not having the best time right now.
I like the idea because since
they do it to protect their image.
It does protect their image, but I also think that like it hinders their image. I'm like, yo, you could do more if you showed this side. So
Definitely.
in my head, I was like, yo, I'm not gonna stop this because it's fun, and this is like it's become my hobby. Like this is something I genuinely like. Meaning, I'm not just gonna stop because I'm not seeing enough followers. Like if I have a bad month where I gain like 1 subscriber, I care, but I'm like I'm still gonna keep going. So in my head, I'm like, yo, there's really no scenario here where I don't kind of make something of this. So it would just be interesting watching, like almost like a blueprint for life. Like how does a human being who's struggling with life, struggling with like mental illnesses and stuff, how does that person cope with shit and get through things. And I do that by like filming the raw shit that's happening. Like when I'm in the car, like, yo, this fucking sucks. I can't get this, can't get that. And I feel like I'm complaining. But then I look back and like 2 weeks later, I'm like, yo, look where I'm at now, in spite of all this shit that just happened that you saw last week if you're watching. Like that kind of thing. And then the fact that my middle name that I was so insecure about growing up was Journey. Because like, it's not even a name. And people would say that like in lower school. They're like, Journey? That's not a name. What's not a real name? And I was always like, man, fuck. Like, why can't it be James? Like, I was always like, it's James or John. And I would make shit up until like high school.
No, it's a cool middle name.
But
man.
now it fits. It's like super fitting. It's like, yo,
Yeah.
people are like, yo, of course your fucking middle name's Journey. Like,
Yeah.
what else would it be? And I thought about doing Journey as like the original name because it's my middle name, but it was taken already.
I'm sure it was.
So actually, that was the reason I took the J because I liked the way the J looked on Journey, and then I just liked the word voyage, and so it kind of just became Joyage. That's where it came from.
Use that as motivation, though, man.
Yeah,
You know?
I guess so.
Yeah.
And right now, like I'm in that struggle phase where I'm trying not to attach my worth into like my brand and like what I'm doing to like how my Instagram is doing, or let's make sure that wasn't a tow truck. I think we're good.
He's illegally parked. He's been illegally parked for like 2 hours.
But yeah, no, I was just struggling to kind of align myself and like keep kind of like on the course of what I'm doing. Because sometimes I'll be like I was in the car yesterday, or actually in the podcast, the last podcast, I was like, yo, what am I doing again? I was like, what is this Joyage? And I like literally can't remember sometimes because I'm so caught up in what's happening that I lose sight. But then like always I come back because I'm like recording all this shit. But it's just interesting because I'll literally forget. I'll be like, wait, so is the Joyage me living in my car, or is it inspiring people by doing what exactly? And I'm like, what is so special about me traveling? Like, I was like, what is going on? And I'll forget, but I'll just keep going. Like, that's pretty much like the brand is like, you just keep fucking going. Cause like no one really knows what they're doing. That's fucking pretty much it.
No one really knows, honestly.
You probably know.
I have a good idea, probably.
You have a good idea, but I feel like,
you know, shit could always go south, you know.
Like I had a dream.
That's just how that is.
I had a dream where this didn't happen, obviously, because it's fictional and we've never taken psychedelics. But there's this dream where I took psychedelics with you.
Yeah.
And you were definitely sober in this dream it's a fictional dream that never happened in any way, shape, or form. But I was tripping, and you were sober. We were in the mountains with these people that were our friends. In Tennessee, I think, and.
Sounds like.
And I was like, yo, I just need you. Like, you're just gonna have to drive because like I'll be tripping in this dream. And you were like, all right, that's down. Like, we'll just do whatever. But I remember it being like, there's not many people I would just trust and be like, yo, this guy's we're probably gonna come on the other side, probably okay. Bunch of bullshit's probably gonna happen.
Yeah.
But like for the most part, like you got a screwed on head pretty well. You know, like he can get through most shit. It's kind of funny.
You know, we went through some shit.
Yeah, in this dream that never happened. We went through some shit and it was fine. Like everything was fine. But like there's some people that I don't have like full confidence that they're like gonna be able to push through it. But you kind of just have like one of those level-headed personalities where you're like, yeah, whatever we end up doing, that's just we're just gonna make that work and whatever, you know, whatever.
Adapt. That's all it is, man. It's adapting.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
I don't know how people get through life without being and there are people who can't really adapt, and you know, I don't know how people.
They're gonna lose, bro.
Yeah.
They're gonna lose in their own life.
Like coming to Columbia, that was a big.
Was it?
Yeah, it was tough, man. I didn't really know anyone here. I mean, I knew Colin, but I wasn't living with Colin, you know.
Damn. Wait, who are your roommates? Were they they were randoms.
They were randoms, yeah. I mean, I came here. This was a new city, a new one.
Damn.
Yeah. You know, made the most out of it, and
True.
you know, I'm enjoying my life here now for sure. But
damn,
it's tough, you know, adapting. But that's what I think. Like, I don't know. I think it's important to get out of your hometown. I think it's important to like live on your own, man. You know, just.
I saw a quote once.
I think like, a lot of people are just staying in Charleston. Like
dude, so many people.
They're just in a niche, you know, and I hate that. I would never want to be in that place. I love being like on my own, exploring, you know, just like going through life really. And I don't know. I just feel like if you're in your hometown, if you're going through the same motions every single day, like what do you live in?
I mean, that's the video I saw where they were like, yo, you can't, if you're trying to be something that you're not right now and you're still living in your hometown, that's a big reason you can't, because that environment that grew you into this person that you're not happy with at the moment is the same environment you're in, like how would you change that? You have to move.
You gotta get out of it, and it's tough. It's tough taking that first step. Like I didn't want to leave it. Like I wanted to leave Aiken, but like all my friends were there. Like,
it's nice.
All my friends for the past like 2 years, like from freshman year of college.
Oh, you stayed for 2 years, didn't you?
Yeah, so for 2 years I was living with like, my best friends at that time, and I just wasn't happy where I was at. I knew I wasn't going to get a job that I really wanted in life if I stayed there. So I took that step, and I haven't really, I'm still in school, but it's important to make that first step. I'm in the journey of where I need to go for sure.
And you're pretty confident in your ability too. You're just like, whatever I end up doing, I'll just go do it and I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think you have that. A lot of people don't have that security in themselves. Like some people are like, well, I don't know if I can. Like, what if I failed? And you're like, well, you fucking just move somewhere else, I guess, or you just do something else.
Yeah, you just do something.
And you're just pretty level-headed with that shit. You've always been level-headed with that. But
I don't know. That's how life is, though, right?
It do be how life is.
You go through a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I'd say the majority of life isn't the highs.
No.
Which makes the highs that much better,
It does. And that was something I was struggling with. I was just like, why am I not in a constant high? Like when I was in Hawaii, I was like, why am I not always feeling like this? It's just not realistic. It's not realistic. And the sooner I get that through my head and accept it, I think the peaceful.
I think, even for the most, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, like the most successful rich people in the world, they're not living, like Elon Musk. It was on a podcast with Joe Rogan. He said, like, Joe Rogan was like, I'd love to be you. And Elon Musk was like, you would hate to be me.
I saw that shit.
And he just, like, described what his life was. And I don't know. That's crazy, though. Like, he's at the highest that you could be, really. I mean, he built a space, like a whole space company out of nothing. He made rockets, like, just fall out of air for nothing. And, be able to, like, actually do something. It's crazy he doesn't, like, really enjoy it. But
I think he
enjoys it. He just gets too caught up in it, maybe.
It's like the way you define enjoyment. Like some people, like Gary Vee, loves business. He just likes building shit and
that's the guy that always seems happy. But
he's always happy. But I guess in my head, I'm like, I like doing that, but I also like not doing that and still being okay with like I feel like when I'm not building something or making a video, I'm like unproductive and I'm like, I'm a piece of shit. But I'm like, I should be able to like hang out and not feel bad about hanging out.
Yeah.
And a lot of people on TikTok especially talked about that. They're like, I'm sitting around doing nothing because I can't leave. And I'm like, I'm not okay with myself being here doing nothing for whatever reason. I don't know why. I just feel like I'm not doing something productive, that I'm not like, I don't know. They just feel like shit. And a lot of people hit that. And I think that hit deep with me because I was like, damn, that is so me.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting though. How was that you?
Stressful. It's still the same though. Like I still like I just go through waves. I'm more aware of it, but I still can't help sometimes being like fuck. But anyways, we're probably gonna make one probably 2 hours honestly. We're gonna close out with one last thing. So in case we do a follow-up podcast at whatever time in the future, say we do it when we're 40. Say we're in the mountains with Irv, Ish,
yeah,
fucking Briggs. We're all
Gus,
out in the mountains.
all of us are up there, man. Yeah.
What? Give me a little prediction. How much money are you gonna have? What's your net worth? 40 years old.
In 40? So yeah.
20, be realistic though, because you're gonna hear this shit when
19 years from now. That's interesting, man.
It really depends if you invest in Bitcoin. You'd be a billionaire.
I could invest. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't really view, like, I want to be rich, but I don't really view being successful as like being rich, because I think you could be successful in certain areas and you're not necessarily rich. You're just really good at what you do.
Because the only reason I asked that is because I remember watching your Aiken interview. You're like, if you could have one thing or three things, what would it be? And you said better teammates, something else, and money.
Yeah,
and
the better teammates part was funny though. You gotta look that shit up. Yeah. It was because all of them, the entire team was in that room and they were like throwing shit at me. So.
Yo, that shit was hilarious.
So hard to do an interview doing that.
You could just stand up.
I say my net worth in 19 years, I'll be worth at the very least 20 million.
Whoa.
Yeah, for sure.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Dalton.
I'm gonna be the best at my
$20 million.
I'm gonna be the best at what I do. So yeah.
Okay.
That
all
typically.
Right. I forgot sports
Goes
broadcasters
with
make
that.
fucking bank if they hit it big and they're
If you're good at what you do, yeah,
you're
you
good.
get paid for sure.
I always thought
So,
you would do well in stand up and literally sports broadcasting.
yeah, I wouldn't have the material for stand up.
The thing is, like, people
It's
like,
really
what's his
hard.
name? Who's that guy? Dave Chappelle. He just tells fucking stories.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
just funny. You could do that.
But he just comes up with those stories. Like, I
no,
don't
there's
know how he
stories
does
that goes through. He just says it in a way where it's like, yo, that shit's
I
fucking
either
funny.
just don't have an interesting enough life to have those type of stories, or I don't know. I guess I just can't do
No,
it
it's
on the
one
fly
of those
like
things
that.
that you think it's not interesting because you're used to it, but to
Yeah.
other people, it's fast. Like, that's why people watch vloggers. Like, they're just like, yo, I'm just vlogging normal shit, but it's interesting.
True, it's their life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
their
just
life.
just normal whatever they're doing. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
okay, so it's $20 million net worth.
Yeah.
Are you a bachelor? Are you married? You got a girlfriend? Are you
Yeah, I
gay,
think
maybe?
I'll be married. I'll be married with some kids for sure.
Damn, how
Yeah.
many? You have some kids?
No more than 3. 3's the limit for me. I would prefer 2, but
Why?
why?
Why 2?
Because I think the way me and Hunter were raised were
pretty good.
it was right. I think the age was right. 3 years in between I think was correct. It's because like the younger he can get like I got bullied from him. Don't get me wrong, but I could also give him some shit back. I think that's important.
I remember one time you tried to fight him and he just fucking put you in like a headlock.
Yeah, I mean he would win, but
It was funny though.
I would go through them. I try to win, man.
You tried. You tried really hard. So okay, so two siblings. Shout out Derek, Ralph, and Karen for killing it.
Respect.
All the people. All the people doing
Respect
their things.
all of them.
Respect. And what was the other question I had? So we got your net worth. We got how many, like what your family situation is going to be. Fuck, what was the other question? It was a good question.
It's a lot to live up to, but
It's a lot
I'll
to
do
live
it.
up to. Yeah, definitely. And then where do you think, like, are you going to be living in like Texas or something? Like, do you have a place do you want to live like in another country? Do you have like a weird
Yeah.
life that you want to have or what?
no, I'd love to. Man, like a nice suburban life seems pretty
Really?
fucking nice, dude. Yeah, and I don't know. I'd love to live in Florida. Really like Florida. Texas is sick.
Texas is cool.
I'd love to get some land out in Texas, and
It's just
that'd
fucking
be
hot,
cool.
dude. It's fucking so hot.
yeah, but
It's so humid.
you're chilling on a big ass porch, and all the land in front of you is yours.
Yeah,
That's
except it's
pretty
humid as
sick,
fuck.
dude. No, you could fix that, bro.
It's true.
What you think of? You think in 19 years we won't have like some? I mean, honestly, like the world might be burned. But
That is possible. Yeah, I know I'm gonna be somewhere cold. I just like cold weather.
yeah,
I've always liked cool.
where do you
cool
want to
and
be,
cold.
man? What about you?
I don't know. I haven't been to the places that I want to go yet, but I imagine I'll be probably somewhere near the Northwest. Probably. Fuck. I just don't know. Like Montana seems cool. I just don't know if that's somewhere you could live or if that's somewhere you just visit and vacation and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's beautiful.
It's
That's
beautiful,
what I've
yeah.
seen.
Man, up there in Wyoming, Montana.
Yeah, like I think that'd
I
be
love
cool
that
to live
place.
up there.
For sure.
I don't know. That would be dope. And I don't know if I'm gonna have $20 million when I'm 40, but I'm gonna be. I think I'm gonna be pretty well off. I said this. I forget where I said this on. Maybe it was on a podcast or in a video, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be like retired, as far as trading time for money by like 30. I just think like
It's really-
I just
yeah.
take a bunch of like financial risks now that are I think pretty smart, and if they are, then I
You'll
have
be
a
set,
huge potential. So
for
I'm just,
sure.
I don't have problems with risk like that. And some people don't. Like my dad's opposite. He's like fully conservative toward that. He's like, yeah, that's not a good idea. But I'm like, yo, the potential upside is so great, and the risk is like, yeah, you lose a few $1,000. But in my head, I'm like, that's worth it. So I think with that mentality paired with
Yeah.
like good logic on what you're choosing to invest in, I could see myself being retired from working hourly or salary or whatever by 30. I'd be shocked if I wasn't, because right now, like, the days are so long. Like when you think about stuff or thinking about stuff that you were thinking about a month ago or stressing about literally a month ago, it feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
I
it
started
does,
this road
dude.
trip 2 weeks ago, and I feel like I've lived like 6 years worth of fucking experiences. You know, so much bullshit has happened on this trip.
That's just what happens,
Like,
though.
man.
You know, you run through some bullshit for sure. You're going through a lot of life experiences that'll help you.
True.
Yeah, you'll definitely be successful, though, for sure.
Hope so. I'd be sad if it wasn't.
Stay away from, Washington.
Oh.
I wouldn't go there, but yeah.
Why? Washington?
I don't really like that
State?
place, dude. Yeah, the state.
What?
A lot of rain.
Oh yeah.
A lot of
fuck that, yeah.
depression.
Seattle,
you
I heard
know?
that shit is fucking
Yeah,
dreadful.
I'm
Yeah,
not gonna go there.
I'm not going to Washington. I'll
You know,
visit
if you-
Washington.
If you go, yeah, I'd love to. Seattle
Some
would
cool
be
national
cool.
parks there.
Yeah, live in like Wyoming's
That'd be
beautiful,
fucking
dude.
sick if I
Wyoming's-
lived in Montana. or
Colorado, there's some good places in Colorado too.
something. Well, yeah. I mean, my parents will be in Denver, so that's definitely a possibility.
Like Colorado Springs, I love that place.
Word,
for
bro.
sure.
All right, shit. I mean, that's pretty much fucking it. Like, unless there's any closing things you want to end on, that's pretty much what I got.
No, I just wanna thank my friends, my family. First of all, I got nothing else. I got nothing. I got nothing to promote.
Shout outs.
I sell shoes, so that's pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah, that's my job.
We're
right
selling?
now.
Oh, at Lloyd's?
Yeah, no, not at Lloyd's. It's called Todd and More in Columbia. If you want to see a boy, come by.
Damn.
I'm always there. But
It's always there.
yeah, I'll hook you up with some good shoes, man.
Word?
Got some solid shoes. Yeah.
Damn. All right, well, you fucking heard it here. If you're in Columbia. What's it called?
But it's called Todd and More. But honestly, in a year from now, we should do the same thing.
It'd be cool.
It would be cool to see,
I'm down.
where we're both at.
I'm down.
Because I'll be in like an adult job, and who fucking knows
Fuck,
where
dude.
you're
Yeah,
at,
that'll be
dude.
fucking weird.
Yeah.
That'll be fucking weird. We'll get Colin on the podcast. We might even do a three-way
He'll
next time.
he'll have a chem degree, or bio
Fuck,
degree.
wait, really?
Jesus Christ. Not me.
Oh man. All right. Well, fuck. I feel mentally fucking drained as shit right now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I feel
We talked.
tired.
We talked for a while, but it was good.
Oh my
it was
god.
a good
Yeah, that was
time.
good. Cool. All right, bro. Well, shit. I don't know what else to say. Peace.
Yeah. Till
Bye.
next time, man.
Bye. Goodbye.
Yeah. I'll be in like this. Oh shit. Well, people think the whole thing is a mic, and it's just not. I mean, expensive ones are sure. There's a Hurricanes game at 9:30, and I plan on being a little drunk for it. So.